Parish or visit rpcontractors.com.
If you're a Baton Rouge area business struggling to find employees, Tiger Labor and Staffing, a family-owned and operated business, is here to help. Whether it's light industrial work, warehousing, manufacturing, or just a little help on the job site, Tiger Labor and Staffing provides timely, professional employees to help your business get the job done. Reed Brunson and his team will handle background checks, payroll, and workers' compensation insurance. When it comes to temp staffing in Baton Rouge, whether it's a day, a week, or full-time, Tiger Labor and Staffing has the eye of the tiger. Visit the website to learn more, tigerlabor.com.
Craving crawfish? Head on over to Chris's Specialty Foods on Highland. Every Friday night, enjoy Chris's mouth-watering boiled crawfish. Dine in or take out. Fresh, spicy, and delicious. Chris's Specialty Foods on Highland, your Friday night crawfish destination.
TRICARE Automotive has another great TRICARE Tuesday offer for you. For a limited time, get $25 off our oil change and tire rotation combo by stopping by and saying TRICARE Tuesday, even if it's not Tuesday.
Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claim. If you want to know what your case is really worth, I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. here on Tuesday, March 11th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect sunny skies with a high of 77. In hour one of today's show, we'll talk about the latest news with NFL free agency and the top storylines, and the New Orleans Saints re-signed one of their pass rushers. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number one of Off the Bench, live from U Club, starts now.
Let's go, baby, let's go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah, they said I gotta come off the bench.
Now, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
What is going on, Baton Rouge? Hope everybody's having a great day today. I should say what's going on, Louisiana, wherever you are listening at. I hope you're having a great day today. We were out here in the wild, chilly a little bit. It's a nice, cool March morning today. Probably going to turn into an absolutely stunning day for golf. And we are here at U Club for the U High Golf Tournament. So I miss you, Alondra and Taylor. It sucks. We only got one day back together before we're back on the road, but thank you for holding it down back in the studio. Shout out to our guy, Bo Wegman, getting everything up and running here. Good to go, bright and early in the morning. Jake, we got a ton to get to on today's show. The NFL news cycle was non-stop yesterday. The New Orleans Saints kind of doing nothing, but at the end of the day, sneaking in at least one move that we will get into. There's, again, we could do an entire show on NFL free agency. I think we kind of hit on every story a little bit. I do want to kind of preview the SEC very lightly as well later in the show as we begin conference play this week in 10 weeks of competition, which, by the way, you know, we're always pushing for a 9th SEC game.
Yeah.
I want 12 SEC baseball weeks. I want to get rid of 2 of the preseason weeks. I know coaches won't be into it. I know nobody would. Or excuse me, I know that coaches would not. I don't know about administrators because I don't know what financially that looks like for most schools. But selfishly, as a fan, I want to move to 12 weeks because 10 is not enough for how much fun those 2.5 months are.
I could say at least 11 for sure.
Something about 11 is just too.
You don't like the number?
No, I don't like
it. It matches each other.
No, but in the 33 games compared to 36, like it's, I don't know. I think I got to go 12. But
well,
sure.
I was thinking at least 11 because, like, did you really need to see last weekend?
That's what I'm saying,
you
right?
know?
Like it's kind of got a cupcake game sort of feel. We're like, all right, let's go ahead. We've been edging long enough. I'm ready for conference play, and here we sit on the edge of it. So We will break it down. Of course, we got Coach Kim Mulkey Tuesday at 8:30, like we always do. We got Nick Underhill Tuesday at 9, like we always do. We got our Tay NFL story of the day. Medieval Times is in the document as well. So it's going to be a great day today. How you feeling, Jakey?
Not great. You know why?
You cold?
Because maybe. We'll see. The first thing right there on your dock.
I know. I was going to mess with you and actually start the show there.
Well, we might as well.
Kyle Juszczyk, fullback phenom, 8-year Niner, which sounds weird to say that's – it feels like it's longer because 8 years is a long time. It's damn near a decade. Yeah. But I don't know. I've just always – I felt like Kyle Juszczyk's always been a Niner.
Yeah, people forget he was a Raven.
In some way. I definitely forgot that. I had no idea. But Kyle Juszczyk released by the San Francisco 49ers. And it's a bit like when the final white rhino died, in that you know that this species is now extinct, never to come back. The glory days are behind it. By the way, guys, I don't actually think white rhinos are extinct. But you get the point. He's a bit of a white rhino, and now he's a free agent.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not great, Bob. Saw the news, didn't know what to do with it. Pour one out for your homie. He is the standard. He's the guy. He's the one. You kind of like, but there's Juszczyk.
Yeah,
he's still there, He's still out there, 21 personnel making the Pro Bowl. This is not a good sign for the fullbacks. Gosh, you have T? 2, 3, maybe that most fans would know at most.
That they would know?
Yeah.
I don't know that I can name one. Is Alex Arma still playing for anybody? I'm just trying to think about old Saints fullbacks that have rotated through recently. I don't know. I mean, name one. Name one and tell Steve I know.
I mean, Ricard for the
nope. I'm sure Taylor and Jordan Wood with all their vast and deep fantasy knowledge.
I'm trying to think of all former Saint fullbacks. Burton.
Is that a made-up name?
No,
you said it with a lack of conviction there.
T. I don't know that I can say one that I know you would know.
Yeah. So a tough day, pouring out for the fullbacks. But I don't know. Do you think the Niners try to replace him? Or is that out of the offense now?
So apparently I read an article, not that I was concerned about it, that they're going from 21 personnel heavy to 12 personnel.
What?
And bringing in another tight end.
The ultimate betrayal?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Times they are changing. Gather your fullbacks wherever they roam.
I am going to think of an active fullback that you would know before we get out of here today.
Okay, I doubt it, but good luck. I wish you the best. Am I Timothy Chalamet, guys? Should I have done that movie? I don't know. People are talking about it.
Alec Ingold for the Dolphins? Wisconsin,
maybe. Didn't he just sign a big contract
2 years ago?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. A little bit, a tickling of sorts, perhaps, if you will.
That's sad.
What would you do? Is Juszczyk going to land anywhere?
He said he still wants to play, so I think he will. I don't know how many teams actually still run 21 personnel. Denver does.
Maybe Seattle, bringing him in there with Kubiak up there.
Could.
Yeah, that could potentially be one. Would you think? What would you become?
Harbaugh might.
Oh, that's true. Oh man, how about that?
There you go.
Your
the
two loves
redemption
united.
Story.
Would you become a Saints fan if the Saints signed Kyle Juszczyk?
No.
Oh man.
That's my number one team. I still root for the Saints if they're not playing the Chargers.
Okay, so let's spin the NFL wheel, and then we'll get into it from a Saints perspective yesterday. But I think one of the reasons why I want to go through some of these other moves is because yesterday was a day filled with a lot of excitement for a lot of fan bases, and then others, like the Saints and the Cowboys, maybe not so much. And I want to start with one that might trigger Saints fans a little bit because it's going to show you, really, I believe, how increasingly poor the Derek Carr contract continues to age. And that's the Josh Allen deal. The Josh Allen deal is interesting, Jake, because it sounds massive. 6 years, $330 million, $250 million guaranteed. He breaks Deshaun Watson's $230 million record. I mean, the numbers that we're dealing with, guys, at a certain point, it's like the old Stalin quote, right? One death's a tragedy, a million's a statistic. Like, these numbers don't mean anything anymore. It's insane that we now sit at a time when I'm just like, oh, yeah, this quarterback's getting $250 million guaranteed. That's $250 million, guys. And yet here I'm going to tell you that it's a hometown discount. He's like, well, how is that possible? Well, it's $55 million a year. But the thing you have to look at is not just the raw annual value, which, I mean, to be fair, he was 14th in annual value in quarterbacks in the league before this. Now he is second. But the bigger deal is what percentage of the cap does he represent at the time of signing? And that's where it becomes interesting. Because with that massive cap jump that the NFL just had, Josh Allen only accounts for 19% of the current cap. That is 13th among active quarterbacks at the time of signing. For instance, when Joe Burrow signed, it was 24% of the cap. When Jordan Love signed, it was 24% of the cap. When Derek Carr signed, it was 17% of the cap. So Josh Allen essentially signed for 2% more than you signed Derek Carr for, which, as we said yesterday, you are going to go to the exact same rigmarole that you did this offseason with him next offseason, as that contract is going to be an albatross around your neck once again if you try to get out from underneath it. And so you have Derek Carr here, 17, Josh Allen here, 19%. What has Josh Allen done? Well, he's accounted for 260 touchdowns passing or rushing in his career. That is the most in the first 7 seasons in NFL history. That is 29 more tuds than Patrick Mahomes, who is second on that list. He's accounted for 40 touchdowns 5 straight years in a row. That's an NFL record. No one else has even done it 4 straight. In fact, Aaron Rodgers is the most ever with 6 seasons in total. So here you have Josh Allen literally playing at an NFL all-time best level, and yet he was allotted the same portion of the cap that the New Orleans Saints gave Derek Carr. Oof. Yeah. Turn the oof meter all the way up on that one, boys.
Oh, my gosh. Like, when you lay it out like that, it's even more sad. Look, Josh Allen is somebody that I know a lot of people still want him to win in the postseason. I've been critical of him in the postseason, but, I mean, the way he played this year is certainly not his fault. Why they didn't move on. He's got a little bit of a Dan Marino feel to him, right? Oh, there you go. I kicked myself off. Dan Marino feel to him right now just because, I mean, Dan Marino, in the 80s and early 90s, he's, setting every record you can through the air, and they couldn't get over that hump. They got to the Super Bowl early in his career but never got back. So it's got a little bit of that feel to his career, but that's that's something you'll pay for because he still gives you an opportunity. He still gives you a chance. And so, his lack of winning a Super Bowl is not going to hold me back from, changing my opinion on him. I was, asking for more. He gave us more.
Yeah.
And, what you just laid out there with what he didn't have around him this year. He did not have stars in their prime this year.
No.
Think about it. Amari Cooper at the very end of his career is what he had. He's had, Dalton Kincaid's a nice tight end. He's certainly not a game changer. I mean, they had a nice run game with Cook, but he wasn't out there throwing to a lot of the same guys that the other top quarterbacks are throwing to. And he still, he put his team on his back and almost got him to a Super Bowl. So the deal's well worth it. But then when you lay it out like that with who's surrounding him as far as the percentage of the cap, golly, that makes it sad.
Well, and I mean, and it's Josh Allen. Again, if you get hooked on maybe the raw numbers, you're going to be saying that, oh, Josh Allen, he's I guess some would run the temptation of, okay, he can't get over the playoff hump, but is he willing to take a discount? Is he willing to help the team build? Well, actually, yes. The answer is yes. The Bills have managed this in a way in which he can both get paid and not take up an extraordinary amount of the cap going forward. Also, this idea that you can't win a Super Bowl by paying a quarterback is one that we continue to see kind of fall flat on its face in recent times, right? In fact, I was thinking about this yesterday because you see the Commanders going all in right now on Jaden Daniels. And it makes sense, right? Because when you give an NFL GM a great quarterback on a rookie deal, that's the equivalent of sending them to Goodwood, okay? They are ready for action whenever and wherever. They can trade twice in a row without even resting in between. That's how excited the commies are right now. But it got me thinking, how many of these rookie deal quarterbacks, Jake, have actually ended up winning the Super Bowl? And it's not a lot recently. There was Russell Wilson.
Russ is the first one, yeah.
Back in, 13?
Yeah.
And then everybody was kind of like, oh, this is the only way to do it. But no one else did it besides maybe Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
But then he continued.
Brady by accident.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So you got to go back even further. Oh, you mean Brady in Tampa? Or no? Because he got paid in Tampa.
New England, he won on a rookie deal, but they didn't know they were going to win because they had Bledsoe. So their money was still tied up into a quarterback.
I mean, maybe you could say the Wentz-Nick Foles-Eagle combination year a little bit, even though that's such an odd year in many different ways. But outside of that, you've seen Patrick Mahomes get paid, they win. Jalen Hurts get paid, they win. So this Josh Allen deal is a A-plus deal from the Buffalo Bills that will not hamper them, that will not hamstring them, and will allow them to try to be as competitive as possible in the future, whereas, again, the Derek Carr deal is an abject disaster in many ways. Even though I'm relying on Coach Teef to maybe prove us wrong here and get the most out of Derek Carr.
Coach who?
Coach Teef. That's what the internet is calling Kellen Moore, due to those big old chompers he's got on display every time he talks. I stole that from Saints Twitter, to be clear. I don't know who originally said it, but it's funny as hell.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I knew as soon as you did say it who you were talking about. He does have some large teeth.
Somebody yesterday tweeting Coach Teef's just, I think expressing some displeasure, saying it's looking like Coach Teef is just Dennis Allen with bigger teeth. Now again, we'll see. We'll see. Okay, that's not completely fair to Kellen Moore. We kind of knew what Dennis Allen was when he was hired, and he proved to be that. We still don't know what Kellen Moore is going to be. Now let's do this. Let's go to break. When we get back, we can talk about a couple of moves that the Saints did make, and what it means for your guy, Brandon Staley, that defense, as well as a million other NFL pieces of news. If you want to get involved, youtube.com/1045 ESPN is where you can do so. You can hop in the chat and hang out with us there. So we are here live. Sun is starting to come up. Let's go. We're here live at U Club at the U High Golf Tournament. Go Cubs! And we'll see you on the other side.
Off the bench.
Go to Trash Rangers, guys. TrashRangers.com is the website. And if you live in Liston or Ascension, you get to make a choice about your residential trash pickup. You're not forced into any contracts. Make the switch to Trash Rangers today. And not only will you get a great price, right, as low as $13.95 a month, that half-off deal continuing, but you will also get better service from a local company that gives a damn, whose profits are not taken out of state, but whose profits are injected back into the community around them through churches, Little League teams, everything else, because they're local and they give a damn about you. That's why if you're a local business owner anywhere in the listening area, you need to make the switch to Trash Rangers as well today. Go to TrashRangers.com. TrashRangers.com.
Yeah, when you go to the website, bottom of the website, you can sign up for residential or commercial service. Also, roll-off dumpsters. We tell you every day they have 3 different sizes to choose from, so make sure your project at your home or business has the right size. Go to TrashRangers.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a
Welcome back to the best morning sports show around. Sorta. It's Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back here on OTB. We are live at University Club for the U-High Golf Tournament. Go Cubs. And let's go ahead and get this show started.
It's time to get to work, courtesy of Tiger Labor and Staffing, where they can help take care of screening, training, payroll, and more. Now, for starters.
Look, Tiger Labor and Staffing truly vets their employees, okay? They build relationships with them. We're not just looking at job history, getting to know, just looking at the paper resume, okay? We get to know every potential employee during the in-person onboarding process every morning over a cup of coffee. So, you want solutions to your issues? You want to transfer top talent onto your payroll quickly? Again, no, we are personally vetting them, and they are the best. Go with the local guys at Tiger Labor and Staffing. So I mentioned the New Orleans Saints. Before we get there, well, I mentioned thoughts and prayers to all the fan bases who did nothing yesterday, because no NFL segment is complete without talking about the Cowboys. A fun fact from the Bleacher Report Gridiron Instagram: the last time the Cowboys signed a free agent for more than $6 million a year was 2015, and it was Greg Hardy. That's right. It has been a decade since the Cowboys have done anything in free agency. The salary cap in the interim decade has increased by $136 million. Now, on the Rome show, I said that I thought that Jerry was playing a bit of possum here. Yeah. Methinks the lady doth protest too much when he was saying we're not going to do anything, thinking he had something big up his sleeve. I don't think that's right. I think I'm already very wrong on that, because this is a weaker free agent class. It's one of the reasons why you see teams re-signing guys to bigger deals than you would have expected. We'll get to one with the Saints maybe in a second. And really, all the big names are kind of off the board. Like, there's not too many big names out there that the Cowboys could sign that would make a big splash, and so missed shot there. Tay-Tay, how are we feeling about your boys going into this next portion of the NFL offseason?
Pretty much like I do every offseason. Disappointed, but not surprised.
Yeah. Which is fair. I mean, I think Saints fans are in a very similar vein. And speaking of moves that the Saints made or didn't make, yesterday they lose Paulson Adebo, signs a 3-year, $54 million deal with the Giants, which, I mean, I don't know. I'm not too pressed about that. I think Adebo's been good, but are you in a position right now where you could pay Paulson Adebo $18 million a year? You still got Alontae Taylor. You still got Kool-Aid McKinstry. Like, that's one of the reasons why you drafted Kool-Aid. So, sure, it's not ideal, but I think you got outpriced there. One guy you did re-sign yesterday, and really it was probably the biggest piece of Saints news, maybe even more so than Devon Godshaw, is you re-signed Chase Young to a 3-year, $51 million deal. Sack incentives could put you to 57. It's a $17 million signing bonus. It sounds like a big number. The average annual value, though, Jake has him as the 17th highest paid edge defender. And I guess the question immediately becomes, do you think that move is worth it? 5.5 sacks last year. Not that good.
Which is 60th in the NFL.
However,
in case you're wondering,
he did have 47 pressures, which was 7th in the NFL. So the sack number maybe not telling the whole story. But to me, Jake, this is simply a deal where the Saints, look, it's kind of a desperate mode. You have so many holes in the roster. You're trying to plug them wherever you can. And even though let's say you arguably overpaid a bit, like, what's the other option? Do you let Young walk, and then what do you have? What do you have coming off the edge? Granderson, Jordan. I mean, you're not getting anything out of Foskey. So, like, you already need pass rushing help. I don't think that you can afford to let the guy who was 7th in the NFL in pressures out of the building. Now, I think obviously you're going to need more production. You need more of those pressures to get home next season. You hope that Brandon Staley can take advantage of that.
Like Randy said, almost doesn't count.
Yeah, but again, but would you have let Young walk? Because then I feel like you're overall in a worse spot.
All right, so I do think this is too much money for Chase Young, but I do understand what you're saying about where you're at, who you could have brought in because of where you're at, just with the resources you have available. The only thing, if I'm trying to be glass half full, because I got to be honest, when I saw this, I didn't love any part of it. I mean, he only forced 1 fumble. You mentioned the 5.5 sacks, only 21 solo tackles. Oof. So there's not a lot there to be overly excited about outside of the pressures. But in a Brandon Staley defense, you do have to have versatile defensive linemen. You have to be able to count on the front 4 getting home. Like, you have to. It is a part of what his defense is. He'll show pressure, but he's not going to bring pressure. And so you have to have defensive linemen that you can count on, and that's why you see the first day of, or really the first couple of days, and all the movement around the Saints has been really strictly on the defensive line.
Yeah.
You've traded for some, you've re-signed some, and that's because they understand what Brandon Staley's defense is all about. And so in their mind, they're like, all right, well, we can be versatile with Chase Young, Cam Jordan. Depending on what happens, he can kick inside. We've seen him do that. And so they're just trying to stockpile all these defensive linemen that they feel like can do different things. But just know that if you're in that defense, you have to be Superman. You do. Like the front 4 of a Brandon Staley defensive line, or front 3 with 2 outside backers, it turns into a 5-man front. They have to go above and beyond because you're not going to get pressure from other places.
And it looks like they're trying to give Staley some of the pieces. Devon Godshaw, we talked about yesterday, kind of the centerpiece of a lot of these moves, giving you that kind of 3-4 nose. And again, Godshaw's always been an interesting 3-4 nose because He's not your, like, giant space eater a la Vince Wilfork. But honestly, it's something he's been doing since college. Even in that Dave Aranda system back in the day, he was an undersized guy they put there because he couldn't be blocked 1v1 with the center. So, look, Kellen Moore, and granted, all of this speaks to the continued hamstringing of building this roster thanks to cap management and all the mistakes and whatnot that Mickey Loomis and the crew have made up to this point, because you're having to do what you can, and so that's why you end up signing Chase Young. You bring in a guy like Godshaw, who is again not a world beater, but solid. It's an improvement there to a new defensive coordinator that's going to want that position to improve. I don't know that any of it. Here's the deal. Maybe it makes you slightly better, but how much is eventually the question. And a lot of that's just going to come down to, like, it just feels weird. It feels like this new staff is going to have to prove that the coaches were a lot of the problem last season, because they're going to have a lot, if not almost all, of the same pieces, and yet they're going to be expected to do more with said pieces.
And so you look at, re-signing Nathan Shepard, Gottschall trade like we're talking about. Like, all these moves are kind of pointing to what we're talking about, building the defensive line because you need them. But also, like, what does this say about Brian Brzee?
Yeah.
And, like, how you view him in your future plans. You spent a first-round pick on him, right? I know it was the back end of the first round, but you still, like, you had a resource into him as a player. Do we feel like the new staff watched the tape and, look, they know who the player is? I mean, nobody in the league goes into a job where they don't know the players. They obviously know him. I'm sure they did a deep dive whenever he was coming out. It just kind of tells me that they don't love where he's at in his development.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair to say. He's certainly someone that flashes, but is not good against the run, which is something he's going to be relied upon to improve vastly at. And while the pass rush gets him, sometimes he still could be better in that regard as well. Now, you could also say that, look, when Kellen Moore took the job, the thing that he talked about, and the thing that every coach does, it all starts up front. And look at the success we had with the Eagles. That was because the offensive and the defensive lines. And so this is a commitment to that theory. But again, the guys you have are not the guys that you had when you were in Philly, when you look at just the all-stars that they had all over that defensive front, all over that offensive front. And so maybe this, who knows, maybe this Timu O-line and D-line that the Saints are going to be putting on the field this fall, maybe these coaches can get more out of them. But I think objectively, you look at yesterday, you look at teams like the Commanders who are out there celebrating, the Steelers who are out there celebrating. I mean, even the Rams making some interesting moves. Like, you look all around, and other fan bases have things to cheer about and get better about. I think the Saints are firmly in the category of fan bases that kind of felt like they were just sitting on their hands yesterday and not a lot of excitement to be gained.
Yeah, and again, it's all kind of going to one position group, and so maybe they can branch out. And look, I know you re-signed one of your receivers, but that's not going to be a lead story either. But at least they're identifying like what they need within a new scheme, right? Because there's been times when they haven't done that. And Brian Brzee is somebody that's like 23 years old, and he showed a lot of promise like early in the season, but finished the season 4 games, did not have a sack. So he had 7.5 in the first 13 games, and you're thinking he maybe turned that corner. But I mean, you're right about the run defense portion of it, but there's not going to be a signing that the Saints make that's going to be as exciting as what some of these other teams are doing. That's why you're in cap hell, and you can't make those moves. And so at least they are making moves to try to solidify some of the changes with the new coaches that they're bringing on. And it's really all they can do right now. Like, if you're a Saints fan and you're wanting to get excited, you're probably going to have to wait, minus the probably, to the end of April in the NFL draft and hope that they don't screw that up.
Yeah, which there's a lot of smoke around maybe the Saints going quarterback now in the draft. Well, whatever, though. You could write stories about the Saints going anywhere in the draft. But, yeah, April, now, yeah, exactly. Like Jake said, your attention's kind of now firmly to April, any potential excitement that could bring. For what this is worth, the Saints are now under the salary cap, as Carl Granderson, Cesar Ruiz, and Kalen Saunders all restructure their contracts. They have about $13 million in cap space. There could be some more moves made, but basically all of the kind of simple restructure, voidable deals, kick the can moves are now in the barn. Like those moves are done, and they are under the cap for whatever that is worth, which is unfortunately kind of not much.
So let me ask you this. Paulson Adebo signs with the Giants basically for what you signed Chase Young for. Which player next season would you have rather had under the 3-year, $50+ million deal?
I think probably Chase Young. I think D-line means more to this team because, again, you still have resources in those other areas. Like, okay, you lose Adebo, but you still have Alontae Taylor. You still have Kool-Aid McKinstry.
Traded up for Kool-Aid, yeah.
You lose Chase Young, and who do you have left? There is no one that he's playing ahead of that you feel good about playing. Like, even if you think that Chase Young underperformed, who do you feel is on that roster there that would perform as well as Chase Young? Yeah, exactly. Right, exactly.
A first and second rounder?
The backups are not made the same in that regard.
We laugh so we don't cry.
Yeah, basically. All right. When we get back here on Off the Bench, let's go back to some of these other NFL moves. There's a ton to get into. We still got our SEC baseball talk coming up this weekend as well. LSU football going to have a big recruit visiting soon. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
Go to All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com is the website, and that website's a great place to start your car purchasing journey because you can see all the incredible Carnival deals that we have going down right now, but you can also just search the inventory by make and model, by keyword, if you want to look up minivan, by budget. Also, remember the Collision Center, the Service Center, the best place to go get your car tuned up, and it's open to all makes and models. Free professional estimates, rapid turnaround times, great lines of communication. If you mention Off the Bench, you get $250 towards that deductible, guys. So go in today, mention OTB, save yourself a little $250,000 there at All-Star Toyota.
I like what you did with the language there.
Yeah, it makes it sound better, dude.
Very well done. It is a great deal, though. You're always going to get great deals over at All-Star, buying new, leasing, and renting, whatever it is. They have got you covered. We say it every day because it's true. Everything is available in all three processes. So go check it out. Call Miss Lisa Sessions in the rental department today to get that rental reserved. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-11.
Welcome back to more sports talk with some other stuff mixed in. Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All right, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. We are going through some of the NFL moves from yesterday. Maybe one of the funnier moves is the Myles Garrett saga. As Myles Garrett say, look, I don't care about money. I don't care about Canton. I care about championships. And I've given 8 years of my life to Cleveland, and we are in a worse spot than we even were when I got here. I demand to be traded. I am willing to miss games to be traded. And the Browns say, no, we're absolutely not trading you. And he said, well, okay, let me talk to Haslam. Haslam says, no, I'm not even going to meet with you. Talk to the GM. And at this point, I thought for sure that Myles Garrett would take this thing, this game of chicken, all the way, right? And he'd be willing to sit out and willing to force his way out. However, you can say it's not about the money, and it's kind of one of those situations where, okay, it wasn't until it was. And then the Cleveland Browns say, okay, Myles, well, what if we made you the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history, and we did it by a wide margin? As Max Crosby just eclipsed Justin Jefferson with that title, getting $35 million a year, only for Myles Garrett to now have a contract worth $40 million a year. And all of a sudden, Myles is back in. That's right, staying in Cleveland at least another 4 years, it would look like. And here's the LOL Browns fact of the day. The Cleveland Browns, who, again, guys, if you think the Saints are bad, they're worse. The Cleveland Browns become the first team in NFL history with 2 players on the roster making $40 million or more per season.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That translated to, what, 3-4 wins?
Exactly. Hey, how could you not invest?
It is wild. Like some of the comments that he had, it's like, no, if we make you the highest paid non-quarterback ever, I bet you love being a Cleveland Brown. Like, I ain't mad at him either. I mean,
no, hell no,
$40 million per year, but my God, what is the plan for the Browns?
I mean, because that's the thing, right? That's like where people are talking about, do you take Abdul Carter, right, or do you take a quarterback? And objectively, Carter's better than the quarterbacks. But I just keep looking at the Cleveland example where it's like, okay, you took Myles Garrett first overall, and he has been as good as a first overall pick could possibly be.
Yeah.
A 5-time All-Pro, back-to-back reigning Defensive Player of the Year, and you got nothing. So it's almost like I feel like because not all positions are created equally, even if you don't fully believe in it, if you have a chance to take QB1, you almost have to take QB1. But but then again, I guess the counter argument there would be, well, it's the Browns, and not all teams would have wasted Myles Garrett in the same way. Tay, what do you think this does for Micah Parsons? You looking forward to battling with that Myles Garrett contract?
You know, I was thinking about this yesterday. It just seems like anytime an NFL team waits to pay their superstar, they wind up costing themselves so much more money. You're better off just getting it done now. They should have done this last year before they got the CD deal done, because Jamar Chase is still not paid yet. They could have paid CD now. Jamar still makes more than him. It's not looking good because they just gave a defensive tackle an $81 million contract. And they have $56 million worth of cap space, but are they going to use it? I don't know. I don't know what the long-term future of Micah Parsons is.
Well, and I think you hit on a great point, Tay, and it's one of the reasons why Roseman and the Eagles have been so good is instead of chasing the market, they set the market and then let everything else fall where it may, right? They did it with Zach Bond. They did it with Saquon Barkley. And now they don't have to work. Like Jamar Chase's price just probably went up because of this, right? Because he's going to want to be the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL.
Make 40 and a half.
Trey Hendrickson's price probably just went up after the Crosby and Myles Garrett deals. So, again, I'm with you, man. Getting ahead, kind of taking the initiative is the ideal way to do it, even if you feel like you may be overpaying in the short term. If you wait too long, you're going to end up overpaying in the long term. Was the DK Metcalf move actually the biggest move yesterday? I mean, you got Geno Smith, you got Sam Darnold, you got a lot of other news pieces.
How about Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield both getting new contracts that are over $100 million when they were both on the Panthers a couple of years ago, and everybody was clowning the Panthers for having Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield.
Again, it shows you that the actual organizations here matter just as much as the players. It's a reason why I can't help but look at the Justin Fields to the Jets signing and laugh. Because the Jets have been god-awful. Let's say Mark Sanchez, which people may argue with, but let's say Mark Sanchez was the last good Jets quarterback. Since that moment, you've had Geno Smith, Michael Vick, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Bryce Petty, Josh McCown, Sam Darnold, Joe Flacco, Zach Wilson, Mike White, Trevor Siemian, Tim Boyle, and Aaron Rodgers all start games. And you're going to tell me that a Justin Fields that hasn't done anything, that he's going to be the guy that's suddenly it's a double negative? Two bad things are going to make a positive? I don't see it. So, yeah, the organizations are a big piece of that. But that's probably why the Metcalf news is the biggest to me, because the Steelers, already one of the more competent and maybe the most competent organization in the NFL, one of certainly. And although they don't technically know who their quarterback's going to be, whoever it is now better for having DK Metcalf, regardless of what ends up happening with George Pickens and whatnot.
Yeah, we'll see if they run it back and try to bring Russ back. I mean, Justin Fields is somebody that I think could have found a home that was a little bit better as far as offensively, the scheme and what he does well and what it's trying to get done. But sure, Jets just keep on trying to find who your quarterback's going to be. I just don't love the fit there. But for the Steelers, the offense is going to look different now. Najee Harris now with the Chargers. And so, that was a guy that, always was one of the league leaders in carries. Are they trying to maybe get away from strictly running the football? I mean, they got an offensive coordinator that loves to run the football. But getting rid of Najee Harris, what is the offense going to be? What is the identity going to be? Now you have two receivers that are going to want targets. They're going to want their catches.
Yeah, it's only time will tell. And Arthur Smith is the guy in charge of it all, which maybe feels not like – it feels like statistically you maybe won't get some of the seasons that you're hoping for. Jake, on the way out here, what does it do to you as a longtime NFL player to see Justin Fields sign for $30 million guaranteed? 2 years, $40 million, $30 million guaranteed, and he hadn't done anything in the NFL.
It's a fair question, but I've become numb to that a long time ago. Like I always say, it was, I'd be somebody that started 5 of my 6 years, and the fourth receiver on the team who had 11 career catches would be making double what I was making. You just got to have to get used to it. Or the 10th guy on an NBA bench who nobody knows, not even the core fans of his team know, he's making $9 million a year, right? And so and football is way more popular than the NBA, but it's something you have to get used to. Like I said, a little numb to it because it happens literally all the time.
All right, when we get back, maybe touch on a couple more of these NFL stories. Also, big recruit coming in for LSU. Keep it locked, OTB.
Off the bench.
Go to centralplumbing.org, 925-8552, centralplumbing.org, 925-8552. You need plumbing help. You got any issues going on? Well, no matter when it happens, we got 24/7 emergency service ready to go. And even if you don't need the emergency service, you still look, it's flat rate pricing. It's licensed, bonded, and insured employees. They send you information about ahead of time. It's a great warranty once the work is done. It allows you peace of mind every single step along the way. And the nearly 5 decades they've been in business means they've seen it all. They can fix it all. Also, you want upgrades, remodels, tankless water heaters. It's all at Central Plumbing.
Go to the website today, and you can see exactly what T-Bob's talking about as far as the remodels. That's at your home, that's at your business, that's big, that's small, everything in between. They have got you covered, completely change your space and give you that new look. And like we always tell you, 24/7, 365, weekends, holidays, game day, 225-925-8552.
You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe. My whole team on wild.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Savor game day platters and snacks, plus drink specials at 1717 Kitchen and Cocktail. So come out for game day.
Welcome in to the best morning sports-ish show around. Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
What's happening, y'all? Off the Bench, brought to you every day by K to Z Interiors and Outdoor Living. And if you want to bring your home to the next level, nothing ties a room together like the correct drapery, shades, curtains. Again, outdoor living, you want to put some drop-down exterior shading out by your grill, your outdoor kitchen, your TV, whatever. You can stay cool in that summer heat when you're outside grilling and chilling. You can cut glare off the TV outside and inside. The point is you probably don't even know just how much you can improve your home functionally and aesthetically until you get Brandon Barton and the team out to your home. K to Z Interiors and Outdoor Living. You go to ktozblinds.com. You set up the free consult within a matter of minutes. Brandon's in your home, and within a matter of minutes, he lets you know exactly what the deal is. And remember, it's all price points, okay? All price points, excellent service. ktozblinds.com. K to Z Interiors and Outdoor Living. All right, LSU on the recruiting trail just locked up a visit with one of the nation's top cornerbacks, Haven Finney. It's a cat out of California. He was the number 2 cornerback in the 2027 class. He reclassified to 2026. He is a 4-star consensus. Rivals has him as a 5-star if you care about such things for whatever that's worth. And Finney, after reclassifying, now ranks as the 13th quarterback in that 26 class. But LSU has locked up a visit. He'll be on campus in late June for an official. He took an unofficial to Baton Rouge in April. He's visited USC, Oregon. You're competing with A&M, Tennessee, Texas, the other aforementioned schools as well. And check this out, Jake. On 3 gives you a 58% chance of signing Haven Finney. How in the world do you arrive at a 58% chance?
Oh,
I don't know. You know, it's funny. In my scorebook, I had it scored as a 53. So hearing that it's 58 makes me a bit more bullish on Finney, as it looks like he might be fitting to come here. Fitting to come here? Fitting to come here.
Oh, man. All right, there's something there.
Yeah, man. Look,
58.
Look, Corey Raymond's landed 5 stars out of Cali before at corner. Obviously, Eli Ricks back in 2020. Maybe Corey can do it again. Now, for what it's worth, that LSU 2026 class looking good, even though it's very early, 3rd in the nation. And if you were to lock up Finney in that boat, well, it would just increase that.
Yeah, I mean, you got one last year, obviously a 5-star in Pickett, so like you're wanting to add more of those type of players to your roster through high school recruiting, and it's a position group that really, since this current staff has been there, they've had to piece together through the portal. Now, with good players, I'm not saying they like piece together with bad players, but you do want to build that foundation back where you can be very selective. If you want to add a corner or a safety through the portal, you don't have to add. They had to add over the last 3-4 seasons at that position. So the foundation, if you can get that back right, which this sounds like a player that could do that, that's the most important thing.
All right, coming up next hour here on OTB, we got SEC baseball, we got OTB mailbag, we got Coach Kim Mulkey. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Wall-to-wall TVs mean you'll see every touchdown in HD. Place your bets and feel the thrill of every play with our DraftKings Sportsbook. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
At Atmos Energy, our Smart Choice solutions help customers save energy and emissions with rebates up to $500 off high-efficiency natural gas appliances, smart thermostats, and weatherization upgrades. Together, we're fueling our energy future.
You work hard every day to pursue a life you love. You put in the time, and it shows. You're forging ahead, chasing a dream, creating something better for the ones you love. You're building your own life. So why not build your own tractor? With John Deere tractors and attachments for almost any need, the Sunshine team can help you do just that. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. here on Tuesday, March 11th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect sunny skies with a high of 77. In hour 2 of today's show, we'll talk some SEC baseball. We'll look at the latest power rankings. OTB mailbag at 8:15. Then at 8:30, LSU women's basketball coach Kim Mulkey joins the show. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the University Club, starts now.
Let's go, baby, let's go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Hey, they said I gotta come off the bench.
Now, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah. Oh, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to OTB, hour number 2. Happy 3/11 day to all those who partake. Amber is not the color of my energy this morning. Maybe blue is, because I'm freaking cold, dude.
Maybe you're all mixed up because of this weather.
Don't know what to do.
There you go.
I am once again asking the OTB crew if anyone would like to apologize to Puxatawny Phil.
That fat son of a...
Because it is March 11th, and we cold, man. And now, granted, look, if we were from Bowling Green, who, by the way, Eddie George,
yeah,
head coach of Bowling Green. How about that, dude? If we were from Bowling Green, I'm sure we wouldn't be feeling cold, but I'm not, okay? I'm a little warm weather boy, so say sorry.
Why we go Bowling Green?
Coach Stud was from Bowling Green. Yeah. And he used to always clown us back in the day for when we would complain about it being cold, when it'd be like 40 degrees. Yeah. And he'd be out there in shorts and a T-shirt just absolutely chilling, relaxing.
Yeah. Well, spring doesn't start until March 20th, so I'm not apologizing to Phil because it's not technically spring yet, so it doesn't matter.
That's why you should be apologizing, because he was right.
No,
it's
that doesn't
not
mean
spring
he's right.
yet.
He said 6 more weeks of winter, so after when spring starts on March 20th, if it's still cold after that, then maybe I'll think about apologizing to Phil.
I feel like it's been a grade on the Louisiana curve. No. Like, this is surprising that we're still feeling this way out here.
I will say I am open to giving that fat son of a gun an apology if this keeps up the rest of the week.
Let's go. There we go. Oh, shoot. Oh, what else? Oh, this is another random thing that I stumbled across yesterday. Did you know that Andrew Luck is now Stanford's GM?
Yeah, I did.
But in a interesting move in the organizational chart, the Stanford org chart, he's actually above Troy Taylor, the head coach. So in almost every situation in college football,
so
the head coach
it's
an NFL GM.
Wow.
In the org chart, Andrew Luck is actually in charge of the head coach. I know, isn't that crazy?
I did not know that little fun fact.
He exists independently of Taylor, and in fact can choose to move on from Taylor if he should want in a couple of years. Of course, Oliver Luck, one of the premier football administrators, so it kind of following in his father's footsteps in that way. But I just thought that was interesting as college football is trying to find its way and strategies change and whatnot.
GM roles are fascinating.
Right? Because
I mean, we were talking about it in studio yesterday. Steph Curry's now the assistant GM for Davidson basketball.
How about that, dude?
He's playing.
Which the biggest piece of that news story to me was Steph Curry and I guess a little group that he's put together. They have 8 figures ready to commit to Davidson men and women's basketball, which when you look at like on a per player basis, yes, you have to pay more in basketball, but the overall lift of the roster is way less than that of football.
Yeah.
You're telling me you can't make Davidson in this era consistently good with 8 figures?
Yeah, you got to.
Like, you absolutely should be able to. But the Andrew Luck thing's interesting because in the NFL, the GM is in the owner's pocket, and a lot of times the GM controls the fate of the head coach. And at Stanford, that is now the case, and it's just crazy to think about because in football, the head coach has always been the king of the fiefdom, right? His own little power playground in which he gets to decide all things in a dictatorial way. I imagine that a lot of ADs would prefer this Andrew Luck setup, but we'll see.
Yeah, that's fascinating. I didn't think about that because you're right. I mean, 9 times out of 10 in the NFL, the GM is who decides the fate of the head coach, and he's definitely in charge in the NFL, no matter who you're talking about, unless it's like a Bill Belichick situation. So, yeah, that's very interesting because if you're going to be the GM of a program like Stanford, like you're going to have roster decisions now because of the pro model. So you want to be in lockstep with your coach because you want to be successful, but like, are you going to have final say on who gets like those final offers? Are you going to have final say in who you get out of the transfer portal? Like when you're watching quarterbacks, if Troy Taylor's like, man, I love this guy, and Andrew Luck's like, he ain't it. Does he have the final say to say, nah, we're not offering that
I mean,
guy?
he says he's very excited to learn from Taylor and work with him and whatnot, but it seems like, at least on the org chart, he would. So something to watch, certainly going forward as these positions continue to evolve. Something to watch going forward into this weekend is SEC baseball, baby. That's right, the best league in college, a league where 12 of the 16 teams in the conference are ranked. The top 4 teams in the nation are all in the SEC. It is an absurd league full of absurd power, and we're just going to do a very surface-level check on how things have gone for each team going into conference play. How did you handle the beginning of this season? Before we get there, though, real quick, what are you most looking forward to when it comes to SEC baseball?
Like just from LSU?
And no, just like anything. Like, okay, like I'll start. Like for me, and it could be anything. It could be something about a player. But like for me, It is simply the community aspect, right? And the rhythm of the next 10 weeks when everybody, like one of my favorite things to do here, and it just feels like a Norman Rockwell painting. It's Americana at its finest, is when my next door neighbor will put the projector on his garage. Yeah. It'll be Friday night. Kids will be running around in the cul-de-sac. Beers will be in the ice chest. And all the dads will be sitting in folding chairs, watching the game, getting, eventually having to deal with some wife aggro, maybe taking a break around the 5th inning to try to get the kids put to bed before coming back out for the late finish.
Right.
Like, I'm just looking forward to community. I'm looking forward to the rhythm, the Sunday stress of a rubber match to decide the series. Like, that's what I'm most looking forward to.
Yeah, I think when you look at it from top to bottom, that's always one of the most exciting things is it's going to be high leverage, high level, type baseball almost every single weekend. Very rarely do you get a weekend in SEC baseball where you're like, okay, well, we should sweep.
Yeah.
That doesn't – you always are shooting for 2 of 3 because the entire league is so good. So, yeah, I agree with you there. But also, I'm looking forward to Texas and Oklahoma joining the league. And LSU starts off – on the road against both those teams in the first 4 series in SEC play. So you get a chance to have some new blood. The LSU-Texas rivalry might be the biggest in baseball. Because football, it's going to be A&M for them, and you're going to have other rivals. But in college baseball, because of what they've done in their history, what you've done in your history, you recruit against each other all the time. That actually could be where LSU and Texas kind of create their own little thing. And so I'm excited about that, adding more teams and more good teams because both of them are good teams, even though Oklahoma's fan base I think is in for a rude awakening when it comes to teams coming to Norman and kind of taking over the stadium or them trying to go somewhere else. They're going to see because Norman, Oklahoma right now, and Oklahoma's baseball stadium, the Dale Mitchell Park is not like the other SEC stadiums. And so I think
they not like us is what Jake is saying there.
Not at all. So they're about to learn that it's a different level, different brand. Even look, again, good baseball team. But Texas and Oklahoma, I think they add something to SEC baseball.
So they I found an article in the Tennessean, admittedly, probably a bit of a biased source here, but I haven't yet pulled the trigger. I tried yesterday, but I had my wallet. I haven't yet pulled the trigger on getting a baseball season D1 subscription for the SEC Extra. And so this is going to be a very surface level kind of power ranking look at what the teams have done up to this point as they power rank them going into conference play. And number 1 on the Tennessean power rankings is, Tennessee. Which, again, admittedly, deservedly so. Defending national champs. They're one of 2 undefeated teams left in the entire country right now, 16-0. They lead the SEC in average. They lead the SEC in ERA. They have elite power. Lead the NCAA, in fact, in runs with 199 in ERA with a 1.83. So, unfortunately, Tony V and his tiny little PP remain the team to beat in the SEC.
Look, I'm okay with Tennessee's 16-0. Tennessee won the national championship. Sure. Yeah, I'm okay with them being where they're at in the power rankings. You could make an argument for a couple of teams. I like you laid out there. The top 5 in baseball is basically the SEC. So, sure. And we're going to find out. And we're going to find out in Baton Rouge, Louisiana at the end of April, which I hate that I'm going to be in Green Bay for that.
Number 2 on the power rankings here is Arkansas. They are 15-1 right now. Interestingly, word on the street is Arkansas may lack a true ace, but the offense has been better than expected. And I was talking to some Arkansas fans at Disney last week, and it was funny because I was like, look, Dave's going to get one eventually. Okay, he has to. They're too good not to. And you can see that they are firmly in their Mike Tomlin era as my optimism was met with doubts and grimaces as he's like, maybe if you can win when it matters. Yeah. So Arkansas is still going to be very good, but for Arkansas, the regular season does not matter to that fan base.
It
is only what they do in the postseason.
And I understand it. I mean, you were a fly ball away from that national championship. And when something like that happens to you and you don't win it, and you've been so close and you've had so many great regular season runs and you still have not won the big one, as a fan, you're thinking it's never going to come. There is something that has cursed this program. So you're right. They could lose only 7 games and it wouldn't matter. People wouldn't want to hear it. They don't care.
Yeah, I agree. Number 3 on this list is LSU, currently number 1 team in the country, 16-1 as well. The Tennesseans' take is that LSU has great depth, maybe lacks the star power of previous teams, which I know, I think, was this Alondra or Taylor who is disputing this in the document? Whoever it is, speak up and state your truth.
I disputed it. Okay. I disputed it because I personally, subjectively, I understand that this is subjective, but I think that Stephen Milam is a star, if not a star in the making. Obviously, Bear Jones is as well. Daniel Dickinson, also a star, in my opinion. But objectively, Daniel Dickinson, Chase Shores, Kate Anderson, and Connor Ware are all top 100 prospects in the MLB. And Chase Shores and Kate Anderson are top 50. So I think we have some star power on the team.
I think they have star talent right now, but I think ultimately where you get to be thought of like a Tommy Tanks or Cruz or Charlie Condon or like Justin LeBron's are in Alabama, it's going to be SEC play. Because right now, like you said, a lot of these guys, great prospects, a lot of these guys, new faces, not Stephen Milam and Bear Jones, but certainly where their legends will be written are over the next 10 weeks. Number 4 on this list, Florida, coming in at 15-2 because, of course, Florida's always good. And here we arrive at maybe the most exciting matchup of the week in Florida at Tennessee. Are you kidding me? That's going to be some great baseball to watch. Number 5's Alabama, 16-1. Again, LeBron's been unbelievable. Word on the street is pitching may be a relative weakness. Georgia at 18-1. Here's where this gets a bit odd. Once again, Wes Johnson's offense at Georgia is elite, but it's the pitching that seems to be their weakness as they've had to come back a few times against lesser teams, and that maybe could be a red flag going into to conference play.
Yeah, it is difficult because some of these SEC teams have not played anyone to this point. And you have a situation like, look, LSU, they go to Frisco. That's obviously the best competition that they've had to this point. And so it would be concerning for me, T, if my pitching staff was struggling right now, knowing against who I've gone against. Like, if the bats weren't there, like, I can maybe talk myself into, okay, it's been the cold weather, or they've been going against slower pitchers, and they're used to facing 94, 95, and they'll find their groove. If my pitching staff was struggling against directional school U, that's where I would kind of be concerned. So certainly something to watch with Georgia.
That's their number 6. Number 7 is Vanderbilt, which you just want. I mean, they're 13-3, great pitching, maybe lacking power, but like I think the bigger point here is this is such a deep conference at this point that Vandy, a very good Vandy team, could come in arguably at number 7. Entering conference play. Number 8 is probably the team that I've enjoyed laughing at the most thus far, and that is the Texas A&M Aggies, who everywhere around there on this list, you're going to see very positive overall records. By far, save for Mizzou, the worst record is Texas A&M, 9-6. And now Gravic out for the butchered that. Gavin out for the entire season, their best player. Real tough to get revenge on Schlossnagel when you're falling on your face here out the gate.
Yeah, and you wanted to try to keep things together, so you give someone that job that hasn't ever had a job close to the magnitude of a Texas A&M baseball job.
Yeah.
And so it's not to say that they can't rebound, but when you've never had the experience of doing it at that level, I'm not going to believe that you can. Maybe next year, right? And it sounds so crazy because they've played 15 games, but if I'm an A&M fan, I'm worried that we don't have a coach right now that has gone through the fire, knows what it's like, can find a way to quickly turn this around. And that was kind of that's the gamble that they took whenever they decided to kind of promote a young guy. When they thought maybe we can keep some of the core together, and they did get some of the players that were in the portal out of the portal because they made that decision. But also, you have to know that you don't have a lot of experience, certainly in a job of that magnitude.
And they just feel a bit like LSU last year, right? Number one preseason, then the games start, and it all just looks way different than you thought it was going to. 9 and 10, we got the Mississippi schools. Mississippi State coming in at 9. Ole Miss coming in at 10. Mississippi State 11 and 4 on the year. Ole Miss 14 and 1, but like statistically, kind of near the bottom in both in scoring and runs allowed. You got Texas coming in at 11. They're 13 and 1. Struggled offensively against a relatively weak schedule. You got Auburn at 12, 13 and 3. Oklahoma at 13. They're 14 and 1. Kentucky, all the way down here, 14, a 12 and 2 Kentucky team. The 14th team on the Tennesseans power rankings. Again, just showing how deep this conference is. South Carolina with Paul Maneri, 14 and 3. Granted, they lost one of their best pitchers in Jerzenbeck, but still, that's crazy. It's still crazy to think about Paul being there. Yeah. And then dead last, and maybe the only actual bad team in the SEC is Mizzou. At 8 and 8, they're allowing nearly 7 runs a game. It is by far the worst in the conference. And you mentioned, Jake, you can never expect and never should expect a sweep in conference play. Yeah. But I'll be damned if LSU shouldn't really be hoping to maybe get one here, because this is by far the odd man out in this conference. You get them at home to open conference play. You've been red hot. They've been red not. Ooh. Like, if there was ever a time to sweep an SEC team, it is right here out the gates for LSU.
Yeah, they started out the season 1-5, and honestly, they kind of got run out of the building in some of those losses that they had. I mean, including a 10-2 loss against Alabama State. Now, they have split series with Evansville. They split Binghamton.
Binghamton's good. I've said it. They'd be number 5 on my power rankings if they were in the SEC.
I'm sitting here looking at it like they dropped 2 games to them.
Yeah, to Binghamton. Was it? Binghamton?
Yeah, look. They dropped 2 games to them. There's just, I mean, this is a bad baseball team right now. I mean, they gave up 10 runs to Lindenwood. Look, you know me. I know a lot of schools in a lot of places. I don't know where Lindenwood is. Couldn't tell you.
True. If Jake can't tell you, that's a problem.
Yes. They beat Southern 15-3, but that's their only dominant victory. I mean, even in Florida A&M, they had to come back against them. So it's not like they've played the who's who. Like, UConn's a good baseball program, but even UConn's not up to their standards. Stetson's okay baseball program. They lost it. So, yeah, it's funny. Like we say, like, there's not many times. This is one of those times. Like, you should go out there and expect all 3 games.
Actually, this is funny. I didn't know this. Nick, you mentioned Southern. Former Southern coach Carrick Jackson's the head coach of Mizzou there. So
didn't know that. Yeah.
Shout out, Coach Jackson, but hopefully not this weekend. So there it is. A little very quick overpass on the SEC. We'll dive more into Mizzou throughout the rest of the week. Oh, Chris Little says Lindenwood is right down the road from Mizzou. So I don't know if you know this. That means it's in Missouri.
Or it could be in Kansas City.
Oh, crap.
Or Kansas.
Damn it.
Like the Kansas
You're
City
right,
situation.
I didn't even think about that.
I don't know.
Damn you, geography.
Where's Como?
No idea.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead, and when we get back, we'll do a quick OTB mailbag. We got Coach Kim Mulkey coming up after that. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
Guys, go to Boudreaux's Electrical, okay? You want to go with the family-owned business that puts the customer first, that's going to make sure that your home is protected during storm season. You want to go to Boudreaux's, where everyone is a VIP. Look, Boudreaux's has been in business for over 40 years, guys, okay? Started all the way back in 1982 as a family business trying to serve their communities, and nothing has changed. They're one of the premier Generac generator dealers in all of Louisiana, and we got all the parts in stock ready to go if you need repairs or if whenever you may do need repairs. Because that's the main thing here is that a generator has to be ready to go when you need it. And at Boudreaux's, they stay on top of it 24/7 to make sure that that is the case. Got incredible financing deals available as well. So it's $159 a month. So get that peace of mind with Boudreaux's Electrical.
Yeah, go to the website, boudreauxelectrical.com. But we always encourage you, look, trust us. But if you don't, you can go to Google and you can type in Boudreaux's Electrical, and you are going to see 5-star reviews up to close to 100 now. Perfect reviews for Boudreaux's, boudreauxelectrical.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-11.
Chill, right on my side is what ego becomes. A funky child with some words on my tongue. Be like in, take a breath, and my mouth gets loose. So while I scatter my spit, I dream of juice. Have you ever made out dark hallways? This way, I kissed, I made.
Welcome back to the best morning sports show around. Sorta. It's Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All right, it's time for some OTB mailbag. And quick with it, Alondra.
Special delivery! I have this special delivery for Off the Bench.
And look, it is marked most urgent.
We'll be writing to you.
The internet.
What the is the internet?
All right, hashtag OTB mailbag. Which SEC road baseball venue is the best atmosphere? I can't. So I've never been to any SC road baseball, so I'm not a great person to answer this. I think anecdotally, the dude at Mississippi State's always got to be up there. And if you look at attendance stats, there, that would maybe reinforce that.
Yeah, I'm with you. The ones that I've been to certainly wouldn't fall on this list. Vanderbilt, Florida, certainly not.
No.
From everybody that has been to most, or if not all of them, it usually comes down to LSU, Mississippi State.
I would also say, look, I thought the beer showers at Ole Miss looked like a lot of fun at times, and I'm sure Lindsey Nelson's popping right now.
Right now,
and they just renovated everything. They made it bigger. I actually have a brother-in-law, Dragan Marjanovic, who is
God bless you.
He's whatever. He went Tennessee, and he'll be going to the Florida-Tennessee series next weekend. So I'll have some boots on the ground. Hashtag OTB mailbag. French onion soup, overrated or underrated?
I don't really have it rated. It's kind of whatever.
Yeah. I don't think about it often.
Yeah.
It can be good. It is very heavy, though.
Very heavy.
It is very heavy.
A lot of gravy feel.
Yeah, man. Again, very good, but I don't know how much I need on top of it. And a lot of times it's served in tandem with other foods, and it's really going to bust you up. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Best LSU baseball uniform combination.
I love pinstripes. Love pinstripes.
Wait, but you don't like the Vanderbilt pinstripes?
I don't like black pinstripes.
Oh,
Those are Al Capone.
Okay.
I don't like baseball pants. Shouldn't be black.
Okay. Sure.
Should not have black baseball pants. You should have white baseball pants or gray baseball pants.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. If you had to live 1 week in the life of either an amphibian, a reptile, or an aquatic vertebrate, and they lived in your body for a week, which one would you choose and why? I would choose
I'm going anaconda.
Yeah, I would choose a reptile. That's a snake, right? Snake's a reptile,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. I would go reptile because I got to be honest, man. Just laying around and sunning all day doesn't seem awful for a week. Get away from the human rat race of go and American capitalism, having to work 24/7 and all that other sort of stuff, and I just sit around and I sun, except when I want to eat a rodent. Like, hell yeah, I'm into that. Now, granted, the snake switching with my body may get me fired when he's going around licking everything to smell.
Or just wraps itself around another human being.
Yeah, major HR violations.
Probably going to get you fired.
But yeah, make me a reptile, dude.
Yeah.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. Favorite pizza in town? I don't really have one, to be honest, dude. I'm ambivalent.
I'm not a pizza snob. I'm just not. Pizza's, for the most part, pizza. Now, you can get you can get some bad pizza. And I don't want to throw any names out there because you never know who's going to be on with you later. I don't know. I'm not a pizza snob.
No,
though.
look, I mean, it's like a deal where, if you're talking sit-down pizza, there's a couple good spots, right? Roca's good. Pizza and Wine, or Art and Pizza's good. Or is it Pizza and Wine? I can't remember.
Fleur de Lis was good.
Art and Wine, maybe? Now that would have been my favorite, but it's not around anymore. Because that was different, it was unique, and I thought it was very well executed. Red Zeppelin's good for traditional pizza.
I think my kids love Lit. And it might not be for everybody. My kids.
God, see, and I do not like the fast service pizza places. But again, there's a few of those here as well.
There's a pesto pizza at Lit that I love.
So I don't know, man. I pizza not the Baton Rouge strong suit.
No, it's not.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. Go to St. Patrick's Day drink of choice.
Jameson.
Yeah, green beer. Jameson and green beer. Don't overthink it, okay?
Yeah.
It's the holiday. It doesn't even matter what kind of beer, as long as it's green and coming out of a keg. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Favorite form of potato?
Oof, any and all.
I know.
I mean, I feel like I could turn into Forrest Gump having a conversation with Bubba about shrimp when it comes to a potato. I'm Bubba and you're Forrest, and I'm just continuing to go on about it.
I mean, it's going to be hard for me to get away from just a great French fry.
I love hash browns.
But I love hash browns as well. I love hash browns as well.
Breakfast potatoes.
Love breakfast potatoes.
Sweet potatoes, baked potatoes.
Hell, I'll take a potato wedge.
Yeah.
I like mashed. I mean, who doesn't love mashed potatoes? Oh, God. Potato chips are my single biggest weakness on the planet. There's a reason I can't have them in the home, that just salty goodness. Like, if I have a bag of kettle-cooked potato chips in my home, I cannot control myself. Yeah, I will eat myself into oblivion.
I have pretty strong will when it comes to food. Kettle-cooked potato chips, oof. It's a weakness for me as well.
It does beg the question, are potatoes and eggs the two most versatile foods out there?
I think so.
Right? Like, there are a million different ways you can enjoy them. Toppings by themselves, like, they're just the best. Hashtag OTB mailbag. You wake up and realize that you and Taylor switched bodies, Freaky Friday styles. What are some ground rules you lay down for each other? I don't care about ground rules. Taylor could do whatever he wanted in my body, but I would take a million nudes of myself in Taylor's body and use them as blackmail against him should he ever try to cross me later in life.
I can't top that.
That's actually within my ground rules. My only ground rule for you, T-Bob, nothing that ends me up in jail, and no face tattoos.
Fair. Okay, we can agree on that then. I'll throw that back at you, ideally, and then we can figure out a way to switch back. It's like my old junior high fantasy of switching bodies with Britney Spears, taking pictures of my boobs, and then mailing the pictures back to myself so that when I switch back, I would have pictures of Britney's boobs. Again, a very complicated plan, but kind of genius, if you ask me. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Let's do. Oh, wow. Didn't realize how Irish Jake is. Likes Irish Swishy. Likes potatoes. True. Actually true. Didn't think about it.
My mom's maiden name is Bailey.
There you go. Hashtag OTB mailbag. What's your favorite parade? Mardi Gras or other? If it's in Baton Rouge, I mean, St. Patty's Day is great. So is Spanish Town. I would maybe err on the side of Spanish Town a little bit.
People love Spanish Town.
Yeah.
But they also, St. Patty's too, though. I mean.
You actually got to ride in St. Patty's after National Championship, didn't you?
No, I was in Arizona.
Oh, you were training. That's right. That sucks.
I didn't come back for the championship parade either. Like, I don't even think I knew it. Like,
you missed Les Miles putting on the leather jacket and watching his demeanor change completely.
I did.
Coach,
I knew I had one opportunity to go get it right at the combine. That's what I was working on.
Yeah, and you ran your 40. Cam.
Yeah.
Scatapoo.
Golly, what are we doing? Got three quarterbacks ran the 40. 3, and Jalen Milroe wasn't one of them.
Scared to do? If we're talking New Orleans parades, Endymion will always just have the close place to my heart because I went to the Endymion Ball for like 10 years straight. It was one of the first things I did when I got down here. It was my first experience at Mardi Gras ever, and it just imprinted on me, unlike like I was a little baby chick fresh out the egg saying, Mama! Only it was Marty, and I was very drunk.
Wait, is somebody asking who Jake LaMotta is in the chat?
Let me see. Who is Jake LaMotta?
It's a Raging Bull.
I didn't know who Jake LaMotta was.
What?
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
I've never seen Raging Bull. I've also never seen The Brutalist, so, you know, there's a lot of
Don't even act like that's the same thing. You've never seen The Raging Bull?
No. Is that De Niro? Yeah. No, that's like the story that you love, or is it Cinderella Man?
Cinderella Man.
Okay, Cinderella Man.
That's a true story as well.
Yeah.
You've seen that, right?
Sure. I've seen Cinderella.
Oh, my God.
I saw $1 Million Baby.
It's a good movie.
With Hilary Swank, where she hits her neck on the stool.
You've never seen Cinderella Man or Raging Bull.
No. Okay, relax, guys. Let's go to break. When we get back, hope to catch up with Coach Mulkey. I haven't got an answer back yet. I should have just. So we'll see. Keep it locked here on OTB.
Off the bench.
Go to Pelican Roofing, guys. PelicanRoof.com. PelicanRoof.com. Since 2014, Pelican Roof's been taking care of all of your roofing needs in both Baton Rouge and Lafayette. Commercial, residential, we do it all. And remember, Pelican Roof winners of the Better Business Bureau Integrity Award. And this is an award not handed out to you in this industry. No, there's one award given out. Who won it? Pelican, okay? Because that's how they treat their customers. Integrity of the highest order. How about some good financing options? 0% APR financing for up to 21 months for qualified applicants. This is a great way to keep costs low, but not sacrificing the quality that you get from Pelican, and that's what you get every single step along the way. Quality, okay? Dedicated employees from answering the phones. All they do, clean up. Dedicated project managers on each and every site. They're involved in the community. Check them out on Facebook for their monthly giveaways. And use the instant quote tool on the website where you can put in your address, see your roof through satellite imagery, choose what type of roof you want, and they'll give you a quote on what it will cost. They are the absolute best. Go to pelicanroof.com. Again, that's pelicanroof.com.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking.
Welcome in to the best morning sports-ish show around. Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to OTB, where every single Tuesday we are so lucky and so blessed to be joined by the best in the business, and that is the legend herself, Coach Kim Mulkey, right here on the cusp of the tournament basketball coming to Baton Rouge. Coach Mulkey, what's going on? How we feeling this Tuesday morning?
We're hanging in there. Still got a little respiratory deal going on, but, you know, life goes on. How are y'all?
We're doing well. Doing well. Coach, missed you last week. We were both on vacation. I don't know if you have many of those or get to do many of those, but I haven't got to talk to you since I was at my daughter's Louisiana Day play. for the first grade over there at U-High. We're here at the U Club for the U-High golf tournament. But in the play, they have everybody dress up as prominent Louisiana figures and cultures. And what did you think about the video I sent you of Lil Coach Kim and Lil Simone Augustus?
Well, I thought it was precious. I've gotten a lot of videos lately. They had another school, during Mardi Gras, that did a Mulkey Kids float, and all these kids were in this float dressed with all the stuff I wear. So it makes you feel, I don't know, special, I guess. It's just sweet to see young people that follow women's basketball and their parents just put them in a position to learn a little bit more about this game. But it's cute, and I loved it.
And again, it's incredible because, beyond championships and whatnot, you are inspiring the next generation. But let's talk about championships and whatnot. You've always been very upfront about your goals for the conference tournament, and it's mainly to do enough and to get out of it health-wise. Do you feel like you accomplished both goals?
Well, under the circumstances, yes. And let me just clarify. Anybody that's a competitor when you play, man, you're playing to win. And I've been doing these conference tournaments for years, and I've always been nervous. And I've won, I don't know, T-Bob, 12, 13 conference tournament championships. So I go to win. Please understand that. But you hold your breath also, because I've also been in those tournaments where significant players get injured and they're not able to play in the NCAA tournament. So I've always questioned, when a committee sits in a room, how important is a conference tournament versus a regular season?
Yeah.
And
true.
I think conference tournaments should never be more important. But I think where we are now with the way they do committee seeding, when you have teams that are close, they really use those to give them a higher seed. And I'm not sure if that's fair either. What I do know is we went to the SEC tournament. Of course, I was out all week with a death in the family. Flage, everybody knew, was not going to play in that conference tournament. It's not that important for her to go out there and continue to hurt. And so you're still asking your team, next man up, next coach up, go win a game. And they did that. Now, I don't know how much people realize what we did against Texas without Flage, without Faro, when Michaela played very few minutes because of foul trouble. And for us to go and really, really go toe-to-toe with, at that time, the number one team in the country. I'm not into moral victories, but our kids fought like hell to win that ball game.
And, Coach, what can you, take from that? Because you mentioned, there's players that you're going to be counting on here coming up in the NCAA tournament that kind of had to step up. What kind of benefits can that give you when you have players that have to play against the number one team in the country? They play pretty well, and they get that experience.
Well, it gives me confidence in them because they now have that confidence. And I saw a lot from young people that maybe I didn't see throughout the year because Flage was available or Michaela was, so they're not on the floor. So you learn a little bit more about them. It was just good to see. And I made sure after that game that, there's no moral victory. That's not what I played for. But you do learn in losses. I've said that many times. If you don't learn in losses, then you're gonna lose again, and you're gonna make the same mistakes. And I learned a lot about my team under the circumstances we were playing.
Well, yeah, and I know in the post game you're kind of asked about maybe a lack of offense from your team, but you kind of point out, we held Texas to 56 points defensively, right? So, I'd say our defense is a defensive game. Our defense is pretty damn good as well.
Well, yeah, you got two coaches that stress defense. Every time we play each other, it's going to be an ugly game because it's going to be a defensive battle. So I'm like, yeah, we struggled, but that team plays defense. But guess what? That's the number one team in the country, and they only scored 7 more points than we did.
Yeah. So now it's tournament time, Coach. Basketball coming to Baton Rouge assuredly, no matter what the seed ends up being. And that's the kind of overall goal. You are someone whose tournament resume speaks for itself. What are your kind of biggest questions, concerns, strengths as you prepare for another one of these win or go home tournaments that make college basketball so special?
First thing I'd like to say is thank you to LSU administration for recognizing and making sure that calendar is open and that gym is available for us to host. That is not a given. Do you realize this will be the 4th year that we will host, and that goes to the top 16 seeds out of the 68, 72, ever how many go to the tournament now, and we get to do that. And that's special.
Yeah.
And the reason it's special, it is a reward for what you have done, your body of work all year. And we're going to get one of those. Had we won out and Flage, playing and we done it, we would have been a 2 seed regardless. So now we might be a 3 seed. So be it.
Yep.
And what you get to do is you get to play in front of your home crowd. Now they set it up not like you're going to have an advantage because you only get so many seats here and the other teams have to have so many seats, but you're also, it's fresh, it's new, and you're not seeing anyone in the SEC. You're going to see teams from other conferences. And so that's exciting. And then if you win 2 games, which are not easy, you win 2 games, you're going to go to Spokane or Birmingham. We're not going to Birmingham because your SEC top 2 seeds are going to go there, and they're not going to put you in the same region. So we're going to go to Spokane is my prediction, and we'll see a Big Ten team, whether it's USC or UCLA. Last year we were in Albany, New York, and ended up in the Elite 8, losing to Iowa. So it's exciting. It's do or die, and get your tickets because it's not going to be cheap. NCAA takes over, and they charge a certain amount for each ticket. But we, for 4 years straight now, get to do that.
And, Coach, you've been through this so many times. After a conference tournament, you're getting ready for the NCAA tournament, so you know the blueprint and the map of how you want to get things done. But does it ever change, like with this LSU team, right? You mentioned getting healthy, and you've got some players that were able to get some extra rest. Like, is that the goal this year, and does that goal kind of change of what you want to get done before you actually find out who the opponent is?
Well, we always, after the conference tournament, you take a few days off, and then you come back, and for 3 or 4 days, we'll start back tomorrow, and we will work on us. We'll get up and down the floor Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, maybe scrimmage the guys a little bit and just, stay in that flow, stay in that rhythm. One day it may be all defense. One day it may be all offense. Call out quick hitters. Call out plays. Keep their mind fresh. And then on Sunday, which is when the selection show is, we won't go that day. And we'll have a selection show, little party there in the PMAC and watch it together with the public. And then as soon as that selection show is over and you see who you play, my coaches go to work. They get in the office and they all start trying to find film and as much as they can on the opponent. And then come Monday and Tuesday, the NCAA's here and they tell you what days you can be on the floor and so it's not like we're going to just be on the floor after that when we want our regular practice time. We have to follow the same guidelines as the other 3 schools.
So, again, like Coach said, regardless, more basketball coming to the PMAC. So, pack it out, do what you can with the allotted tickets, everything else, and make it hard for the other team. Cheer on this Tiger team. 4th year in a row. You get tournament action in the PMAC. Coach, we cannot thank you enough for waking up with us. I know you're not feeling well. You're the absolute best, and we will talk to you next week.
Hey, guys, take care now. Thanks.
You too.
Thanks,
You're the
Coach.
best. Coach Kim Mulkey, legend. All right, when we get back, a very quick wrap-up to Hour 2. We always just Coach. And then we'll get into Hour 3, where Nick Underhill is going to tell you everything that happened yesterday and is happening with the New Orleans Saints. God, it's cold.
Off the bench.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe. My whole team on wild.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Savor game day platters and snacks, plus drink specials at 1717 Kitchen and Cocktail. So come out for game day and let our team make you the MVP. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com.
Back to sports talk. Maybe. Off the bench.
Okay, we have 10 seconds and we're back, so
all right. Hey, okay, guys, sorry. 10 seconds here to wrap up hour number 2. Apologize for this bad clock management by me, but we will be right back with more. We got Nick Underhill breaking down all of your Saints. Keep it locked here on Off the Bench.
Off the bench.
Goodwood, please.
What'd you say? Go to Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness today. If you are struggling with ED, low T, hair loss, you want to explore some penile growth, whatever the case may be, it's all there for you at yourgoodwood.com, because here in 2025, we are reaching our max potential, guys, okay? We're not letting embarrassment stop us from being our best self. We're not continuing the cycle. We're breaking the cycle. And we're not going quietly into that good night. So maybe it's HRT, maybe it's penile enhancement, maybe it's ED medicine, whatever the case may be. Get your free consult today. We got you at Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness.
You work hard every day to pursue a life you love. You put in the time, and it shows. You're forging ahead, chasing a dream, creating something better for the ones you love. You're building your own life. So why not build your own tractor? With John Deere tractors and attachments for almost any need, the Sunshine team can help you do just that. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Wall-to-wall TVs mean you'll see every touchdown in HD. Place your bets and feel the thrill of every play with our DraftKings Sportsbook. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. here on Tuesday, March 11th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect sunny skies with a high of 77 in hour 3 of today's show. Nick Underhill of New Orleans Football jumps on the show at 9 a.m. and we'll close things out with Ask the Bench. If you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch it in the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. You can also follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the University Club, starts now.
Let's go, baby, let's go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench Lunch with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah, they said I got to come off the bench.
Now, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
What's up, guys? Oh, my gosh. I just opened up my DMs, and Jameis 1 DM'd me, "Are you a Roman Catholic Universalist?" I don't even know what that means, Jameis 1. I've seen some of your tweets that are not regarding James. I don't think I'm going to respond to that. Speaking of the Saints.
I forgot about that guy.
I know, huh? Weird time. Speaking of the Saints, right now it is Tuesday, which means we are joined by the man himself, Mr. Nick Underhill of New Orleans Football. The premier service for your Saints news. They do a great job over there. Nick Underhill, Ross Louisiana Sports Net does a good job as well. But Nick, Mike T, really just kill it, man, from the breakdowns, the opinion comms, the actual boots on the ground reporting, and especially now with so much change in the air, NFL free agency popping off. It's a really great resource. I'm a proud subscriber for many years now. You should be as well. Nicky, what's up, brother?
Ross works for like everybody in some capacity, so the answer might actually be yes. And I just don't know.
That's true. That's fair. Ross, absolute grinder as well. Look, we got a lot of talented people covering the New Orleans Saints. There's Kat, there's Luke, there's all the TV guys. There's a lot of talent. But New Orleans on football still just really fantastic job, and one of my main resources when it comes to prepping this show, quite frankly, Nick. Help me out here, because this is something that's been very top of mind, and it's probably not the best question to lead this interview with, because it's not the most pressing, but it's something that I've been a bit surprised to learn over the last couple of days, and that has to do with the Derek Carr restructure. I was always under the assumption that when you restructured if you decided to keep him around this year, that next year it would be easier to get out from under the deal. But everything that I've read is kind of that next season you're going to be in the exact same spot you were this season. So my question is, does this Derek Carr restructure mean that you're not just committed for one more year, but to a full 2 more years to Derek Carr?
Well, I mean, it depends. But, yeah, I mean, the thing is when you restructure, you're kicking money forward. So the hit in the year in the future becomes more expensive. But then you have the June 1st mechanism, which you can cut them on June 2nd, and then it splits and it'd be like 2040 or something like that. And the difference is this year versus next year, you wouldn't have gotten any cap relief if you do a June 1st designation, he becomes a free agent, but you have to carry him on the books until June 2nd. Next year, if you did it, you'd get $9 million immediately in cap space, and then the other kickback on June 2nd.
Okay. So there is some functional difference then.
Yeah, and the other thing here too is that I think what would have made it really hard to cut him this year is that you're carrying $31 million in dead money on Marshawn Lattimore. Next year, hopefully your overall number is a little bit lower. It probably won't be. I mean, because by the time they're done doing all this stuff, people are going to void, but they might get ahead of some of the voids. Like Chase Young was going to void, and that would have put I think $9 million on the books this year. They signed him to an extension. That void gets kicked back, so they'll get ahead of some of these voids. So maybe it won't be $50 million next year, but if you wanted to walk away from them, you could. So it's a little bit easier next year, but it's not easy. It's not okay, you're in a much better situation. You're kind of in a similar situation, but instead of it being awful, it's bad. And bad's an improvement from awful.
The fact that Josh Allen just signed for 19% of the cap and Derek Carr basically did for 17 when he signed is pretty depressing, Nick. But that's not what I necessarily want to ask about now. You, in some of your recent pieces, have maybe intimated that Derek Carr wanted to explore his options and was willing to work with these Saints to do so. How much can you tell us about what that means? What you're inferring there?
He would have been willing to potentially do something to facilitate his release so he could sign somewhere else. I believe that. I believe that was a conversation that was had. How far it went, I don't know. But the Saints didn't want to let him go. They didn't have a plan B at quarterback, and they weren't going to let Derek Carr dictate, what they were how they were going to build their team. They want to be competitive. I think a lot of us are looking at that other path and saying, hey, like, wow, like you could have went down this path. Like I'm ready for him to do something else at quarterback myself, but I also understand the idea of bringing in a new head coach and not wanting to be a 3-win team and having a chance to win games and build your culture and have a chance to kind of establish and all that stuff. So, yeah, I mean, I think I know that Derek would have been willing to discuss options that would have facilitated his release so that he could have hit the market and sign with a different team.
So, Nick, when we take a look at what they have done, you mentioned Chase Young and the deal there and, the $50+ million for someone who had 5.5 sacks last year. But, like, we'll get to there and maybe what you thought of the deal. But there's no doubt that they are trying to add to the defensive front more than any other position group. And we know, like, Brandon Staley has to have elite defensive line play because a lot of times he's only bringing 4 guys. He'll simulate the pressure, but he doesn't bring the pressure. So that feels like the main position group that they knew they had to change, bringing in Brandon Staley.
Yeah, it's definitely a point of emphasis. And then you guys can correct me if I say the name wrong. Gotcha,
Devon Gotcha. That's how I say it.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
All right, well, I'm going with you. Yeah, so yeah, I think he was absolutely essential to the scheme. I don't want to like oversell him or anything like that, but you need the 3-4 nose. They got him. I think they need to still do a lot of work on that defensive line. I don't think that they're in a good place with it, but I mean, you definitely can't allow it to get weaker. To touch on the second part of that question, I wasn't yet asked, but I don't feel great about the value for Chase Young. $51 million over 3 years. You got 5.5 sacks last year. Add one on a 2-point conversion, 6.5. I mean, he was 7th in the league in pressures, which is great. But I mean, that number needs to change to make sure that value's there all the way. It does end up coming in at 17th among defensive ends, so it isn't terrible. It's just, I kind of liked last year the deal that had the per game roster bonuses. It kind of, it just protected you on the back end for a player that's had a lot of injuries and different issues throughout the years. It's more of a straight deal this time. There's $6 million in incentives. Those are stack incentives that, he can earn. So he's getting the 51, assuming he's here for all 3 years. Don't love the value, but I mean, I understand why you had to do it. Like, you're in an absolutely awful position there. And that's kind of what you got to pay to get a free agent pass rusher. And if they don't have him, I mean, you're down to Cam Jordan and Carl Granderson and Foskey. Like, I don't like that situation at all. So I think you kind of had to spend it. That's what the market was bearing. Kind of similar with the Huff deal, the Mac deal. So it all kind of made sense. I don't think you feel great about it, but anytime you're signing a free agent, I don't think you look at the numbers and say, man, like, I feel great about the deal this team just got. Like, you're usually paying a little more than you want because you have to go out on the market and buy a player.
So we were talking about Brian Brzee and maybe what this does for him, and he did have 7.5 sacks last year. Now the run game certainly somewhere he's got to continue to improve. Didn't have a sack down the stretch final 4 games, but I mean he showed flashes. Like, what does this do for him? You trade for a defensive tackle, you re-sign one. I mean, he's probably going to be a 5 technique, I would assume, in this Brandon Staley defense. But like, what do you think the plans are for him, and how do the Saints maybe view him moving forward?
I think he's maybe like the most interesting player on the defense right now because the fit isn't super obvious because he's not a very good run defender. So like, I don't think he's getting on the field early downs. So is he just a nickel player? It's fun, which if he is, I mean, you're still on the field a lot, but yeah, the scheme's a little bit different. The fit's a little bit different. And I just don't like, I think he has to get drastically better at that run aspect of it to kind of keep his foothold on it. I mean, obviously he's going to have some type of role, but like, you would hope that your first round pick's more than just like a third down interior pass rusher. Like, you would kind of like to see way more production out of him. And it's kind of crazy. Like, you look up and all of a sudden he's in year 3 of being an NFL player. Like, it feels like he just got here, but like, it's time to cash in on the potential. Like, you got to put it all together here. And I'm wondering where he's going to go because you got a lot of guys now and he's the one that kind of has like, you want him to be at the top of that list, but like the skill set isn't quite all the way there to fit with what's important in this scheme. So yeah, I'm curious to see what he can put together. I think that run aspect has to be like not a little better, like way better for him to get the snaps that like warrant that first round investment.
Nick, so chat, Avo Marzwani in the chat asked an answered question, and I should know this. Like I should know this, but I don't genuinely know that I do anymore. He says, this is the second offseason Nick forgot to mention Peyton Turner when talking about defensive ends on the team. Is Peyton Turner on the team? Like, what like, I actually don't know.
Free agent. He's a free agent.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
he's not on the team. Okay.
Well, was he ever on the team? Can you confirm?
Oh man, tomorrow 3:00. Yeah, free agent. Yeah, I mean, I don't see. I don't know. I guess he could come back. You know, if he league minimum or something like that. But yeah, it feels like the ship sailed. There's probably time to move on, get better depth. Yeah.
Oof, brutal. Now, the Saints do finish their restructures with Granderson, Ruiz, and Saunders. They got $13 million in cap space. What does that mean? Is that anything? Like, how much does it cost to sign a rookie class now? Does that really mean anything just beyond signing the rookie class?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're still going to spend some money in free agency, too. They were in on some of these the free agents, the 49ers cornerback that went to the Colts. Name's escaping me. He got about $20 million a year. They were in on him, so I wouldn't be surprised. Like maybe Asante Samuel Jr. could be someone that had Brandon Staley ties. I could see him potentially being a fit there. The rookie class doesn't cost a ton to sign. I think you're a few $million functionally. When you figure in the top 51 formula, so they got plenty of room to do stuff. Once the Chase Young contract hits, I think they'll probably have about $15 million. We just haven't kind of seen how all the money's laid out, but $17 million roster bonus. I would assume $1.17 million base salary, just based on how they always do it, and then you take it out to 5 years. So it's going to be around $4 million, plus there's like a $2.8 million carryover. So I think that drops probably 2.5-ish overall his numbers. So they're going to have some money here. And then I think we could still see maybe a Tyrann Mathieu contract change, a Taysom Hill contract change, a Cam Jordan contract change. I think in the case of Tyrann, like he's owed $3.5 million in guaranteed money. Overall numbers are like 6.5, I think. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see it get cut down to Tyrann's been a team player and he's willing to do has been willing to do what he needs to do to stay here. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him go down to like 3.5 with the chance to earn back the rest in incentives. So I think there's some different things to create more space, and if you don't spend it all, you can carry it over to the next year. So I think we're going to see some more cost cutting measures over the next where are we going? 3:00 tomorrow? Before 3:00 tomorrow.
Oh my God! Why am I blanking? What was Paulson Adebo? So Paulson Adebo gets a pretty big deal from the Giants. Obviously, I mean a talented player, but do you believe that the Saints makes? I mean, you mentioned them being in on a guy like Javarius Ward. Do you think the Saints made the right move in allowing Adebo to walk?
Yeah, I mean it's kind of interesting. There's times that I think Adebo looked great. 80% of the plays, 90% of the plays, and then there's the grabbiness and the PIs and all that stuff. And I think at a lower price, you probably feel good about having Paulson on your team, but at $18-20 million, I don't think you feel great about that. It just doesn't. It doesn't feel like a great deal to me. I wouldn't want to pay it, but man, the cap keeps going up, and it kind of feels like I need to recalibrate what players are worth, because I'm seeing some of these numbers and I'm like, really, for that guy? And I guess $17 million today, it was $12 million in 2021. So I mean, if you do it kind of like that and then account for inflation, I guess it's not terrible, but it feels too rich for me, especially with where the Saints are with the cap. I know they wanted to keep him. They made an effort, but, ultimately he went to the Giants, got paid more there. They're throwing money around right now. They got a front office that's, trying to save themselves, probably their last chance, their last stand here this year. So, I mean, I don't think you want to be in a bidding war with the Giants, because I don't think they're spending smart money right now.
So would you agree with the analysis that I've seen out of some kind of the league-wide circles where this is you're seeing, because you're right, you're seeing a lot of inflated numbers. Partially it's because such a massive jump in the cap, but also this is kind of a relatively weaker free agent class. So you're seeing guys like Chase Young, like pieces that teams already have, get re-signed for maybe bigger numbers because there's just not that much out there.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that. I mean, there's nobody out there that I had super circled that's going to change anybody's fate or anything like that. I think the Patriots did pretty good in the first wave. But other than that, yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a great year. Yeah, I don't think it's a great year. But look, in general, if you're a team with their cap issues and that, you don't want to see them spending crazy money on day one. Right now, I kind of want them to stand pat and just continue to be controlled. I mean, I know that they probably want to shoot for that 10-11 wins. I'm fine with just kind of plugging the holes and doing what you did last year and just kind of letting it, settle, do what you can, let it wither away a little bit. Don't go into the full rebuild, but kind of just stay in that spot where cap's going to be a little bit cleaner from a year from now. Then the year after that, you're in a good spot to take advantage if you've added any decent pieces. But I don't believe in the full teardown, but I don't believe in the go for it either. I'm just kind of, pay off a little bit of the credit card, go above the minimum balance, but don't spend anything else really. But I think they will. I think they're going to try to add a couple pieces here over the next couple of days.
It's kind of interesting, Nick, and last one here for me, but it seems like this coaching staff is going to be asked to really prove themselves this year in that the Saints are going to basically give them all the same pieces that the last regime had, and they're just saying, do better. Is that accurate?
It seems like it. I mean, it doesn't seem like anyone's going anywhere. No, it really does, though. It doesn't feel like they aren't. It doesn't feel like they're going to cut anyone. Maybe we'll get surprised here over the next day. Maybe a couple of these vets end up going, but I don't think they will. The core of the team feels like it's about the same. I think they're going to add a couple pieces, but I think what we're seeing. And, I've talked to a lot of the coaches on this staff, too. I don't think they're in total disagreement with it. I think what we're seeing is the result of, there were a lot of injuries last year, and they told us that the injuries were a huge issue. And I think they actually, believe that, add some depth to it, build around it, and try to run it back and, do a little bit better. It kind of feels like that is the direction right now. We'll see. If they add some guys in the draft, you throw Ty Warren on this team and you add a receiver in free agency or something like that, maybe it feels a little bit different. But, yeah, I don't think there's a massive overhaul here. I mean, the opportunity to see that would have came with kind of how they approach their current players on the roster, and it really does seem like there's an effort to retain everybody, and there is not the reset. It kind of felt like it was going to be Derek Carr or the older players, which direction. It kind of feels like both. Like they're going to just stick with both right now. And, yeah, I mean, it is definitely do better is just, I mean, the way you put it is kind of perfect. That is kind of what it feels like right now.
Just do better. Coach Teeth.
Just do better.
Let's go, Coach Teeth.
Just do better. Hey, last one from me, Nick. What is the latest maybe you're hearing with the direction that they're going to go at number 9? Has it changed? Has it been steady? Where do you think they are going to try to attack? Are they going to maybe even let it play out to see who's available?
It feels like to me, I mean, the names that I've been hearing consistently, Gentile and Warren, I mean, those are the two that are just kind of consistently from the beginning of it. And then Shamar, the athletic edge rusher, I think his combine kind of turned some heads. He's somebody that I think has some favor in the building.
Yes.
So he
went to athletic score. Hey, he went to a big school, though, guys, okay? Well, and look, to be fair, Danielle Hunter exists, right? And that was Shamar Turner. Danielle Hunter had 4 sacks, 3 sacks his entire time at LSU?
He's got 100 in the NFL.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe that would be the comp if I was trying to be optimistic.
Yeah, he's one that I think it's got a little bit of momentum here. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. It kind of, I understand the scar tissue though. He definitely feels like the DNA of other people. And when, it was like, oh, man, he had a great combine. It's like, oh, all right, this totally makes sense. It's within their DNA. I think you do want athletic pass rushers. I don't think that's the worst way to go. But Yeah, it feels very similar, but if they went that direction, hopefully this would be the one that breaks the mold and proves the hypothesis. But yeah, I definitely would feel more comfortable with more production if that's the direction they do go.
Nick Underhill, Nick_Underhill on Twitter. Sorry, Nick, we've kept you very long this morning, but news is crazy right now, and New Orleans Football is a great resource to stay on top of it all. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, take it easy, guys.
Take it easy,
Appreciate
brother.
it.
Nick Underhill. All right, coming up next, let's check in with our guy. Hold the mayo. Keep it locked, OTB.
Off the bench.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime. At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service.
To trust your
off the bench.
Yo, what's up, y'all? Right now, it's time to check in with our guy, Devon Snow. We're here at U Club for the U High Golf Tournament. That's right, baby. Go Cubs! But let's go over to NOLA 504. We check in with Devon Snow. Dev, what's up, brother? How we doing today?
Yo, what's happening? How we doing?
Doing well. Missed you last week, man. Down there in Disney. Ran away from Mardi Gras, which, I certainly missed the parades and whatnot. I did see some of your stuff, though, online. It seems like you had quite the Mardi Gras. Dev.
Yeah, no, it was a great Mardi Gras. I mean, by the way, dude, I love Disney, so I support your decision.
Hell yeah.
Where do y'all stay at?
Old Key West. Again, the only reason I'm able to go so much, my in-laws joined that DVC thing, and that's like their home base. So it's a cool spot, man. It's great.
Yeah.
Got plenty of room for all the family and whatnot. But basically, we just grinded in the park every day, all day. No quit, baby.
Grinded at Disney in that family place?
Hell yeah, dude. You should have seen me in that beer garden. That is one thing I've never done at Disney, to be fair. I have never engaged in any grinding.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Wait, so Dev, okay, so last year you had a float dedicated to you. This year, it seems like every time I saw a video with you, you were just being pelted with throws and beads. Like, it really feels like for the Hold the Mayo brand that Mardi Gras is the Super Bowl. What was it like, again, as somebody who has just grinded up, a kid from the parish, making this thing a reality? What was it like feeling the love from all the people out there?
I mean, it's pretty awesome, man. I mean, I'm a 32-year-old dude. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy to catch beads if you're a 32-year-old dude, just period, right? So for whatever reason, God has me in this position to where it's the complete opposite, dude. I'm catching everything. You know what I'm saying? For the kids. It's for the kids, right? You got to give it all to the kids. Some people, they'll comment on my thing thinking like I'm going home with all these beads and going to play with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. Give it to the kids.
Dev, what about so I saw you had Alfred Payton on the podcast recently.
Yeah. Alfred's awesome.
Yeah,
he is awesome.
So it seems like he had a great time. Real quick, where can everybody find the podcast if they want to check it out?
It's on my YouTube, on Hold the Mayo YouTube, and then also I put it on Apple and Spotify, RYP Podcast.
So go check that out. What was your favorite part of sitting down with EP?
Oh, man, he's just like, I don't know. I guess you would think if you never met Alfred Payton, you would think he's probably like this quiet guy maybe. And that's just not the case. You know what I'm saying? He's very social, very like New Orleans accent. You could tell that, man, whenever he can get back down here, he comes back down here. You know what I'm saying? It was All-Star Weekend when I did the podcast with him, and he was just hanging out in Gretna. Like
hell yeah.
I love it, man. He just really had a lot to say. You ask him something about, hey, how you feel about aliens? He had an answer right away. He's like, man, I feel like it's like they treat us like the zoo. They just come by, look at us, and roll out. And I was like, damn, that's pretty strong.
Dev, how are we feeling as far as Saints fandom right now? We just talked to Nick Underhill.
Wow.
There's the recent reports that Derek Carr kind of wanted out, and the Saints said, nah, you're sticking around. Of course, a lot of major moves made yesterday. The most major thing I guess the Saints would be doing would have been signing Chase Young, bringing in Godshaw. How are we feeling after the first real day of free agency?
Isn't that something, though, that Derek Carr wanted to explore his options? Like, it can't just be, hey, we got another year with this guy. It's got to be we got another year with this guy, and he was exploring his options. It's as if he did, like, this magnificent job to where he should be exploring his options. Like, dude, get out of here, bro. Like, I just – it's unbearable, man. I got the news about the Derek Carr restructure right before I went to dinner for my grandpa's 80th birthday. It was a surprise party. I had to surprise him with that. How about that?
How was the 80th birthday, though?
It was awesome. It was at Desi Vegas on Veterans. Veterans is a beautiful establishment. I've never been to that Desi Vegas. I've been to the one on St. Charles. I've never been to that one. But it was awesome, man. Everybody showed up. Ronnie Lamarck was there, the whole 9 yards.
Oh, Ronnie was there. Let's go. Wait, you didn't bring him to the Cajun Cannon, Dev?
I was about to say.
What's wrong with you, bro? Desi Vegas, come on, the cannon's right there.
Yeah. Look, nobody has supported the Cajun Cannons restaurant like me and my dad has, bro. We go there all the time.
Go get those Cajun A-Bear fries with the roast beef debris, guys. You will need a heart bypass almost immediately afterwards, but it'll
in a diaper.
It'll put you in the dirt, but you'll feel good going down.
But no, Ronnie and my grandpa, they grew up next door to each other in Araby on Mealy Street. So, like Ronnie was in the hospital room when I was born. You know what I'm saying? I've known him my whole life. So it was cool to see everybody show up for it. But, yeah, man, back to the Saints. What are we going to do, dude?
Dev,
we can't sign on a piece of paper.
Dev, I was about to ask you, okay, and I don't mean to go dark here, but now that Mardi Gras is over, the Saints all season is looking like it is. The Pelicans couldn't find a win, as you would say, with a search warrant. Like, what are you looking forward to? Like, what right now is getting you going? Because now that Carnival season's over, I mean, there's just not a lot on the horizon if you're a New Orleans sports fan to get excited about.
No, there isn't. There isn't anything. You can't even do a reach and find something. You just got to kind of like watch wrestling. The John Cena heel turn, bro. That's the biggest thing going on right now. But yeah, I mean, I guess LSU baseball. If you're interested in that. Other than that, dude,
I mean, Ashton Genty, maybe a little Tyler Warren, right?
Maybe if the draft goes your way, but we all know they're going to take the edge rusher out of Marshall. No. We know that's going to happen.
Relax. Don't you put that evil on me, Jakey Bobby.
His name's going to be Peyton Davenport out of Marshall.
We literally just had to ask Nick, like, is Peyton Turner still on the team? No, turns out he's a free agent.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, how about that?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, if a tree falls in the woods and no one's around to hear it.
He was a first-rounder, so it probably will happen. But if that man gets a contract in free agency after literally like not stepping onto the field, like what are we even doing?
I don't know. Davenport got another year in Detroit,
but Davenport at least
he
had
flashed.
Had
he flashed for sure.
Where if he was on the field, you could see there was something.
Wait, Dev,
there's no way that Davenport's still playing.
Yeah, bro. No, he just got another year in Detroit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, let me hold on. Let me look it up. Let me see what the numbers are.
Minnesota, and then he got what? He got released, huh? From Minnesota.
NFL free agency news: Lions to re-sign Davenport to a 1-year deal worth up to $4.75 million.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Seriously. Unbelievable.
Also unbelievable, the Cena heel turn, and I gotta say I thought the acting chops of Cena were on full display. Now, wrestling acting is kind of its own thing, but I don't know, man. Like, the facial change in Cena when he went from good guy to bad guy, like all the memes that I've seen online, it's actually fantastic.
No, it really was. That was like some top-notch cinema. I mean, to go from – he really sold it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was really, like, all about Cody Rhodes in the ring, cheering on the crowd. And it just came down to that face. That face is what changed. Yeah, and I ain't never seen Cena make that face. So that was crazy, man. I think he's gonna go bald, and he's got an appearance this Friday on SmackDown. So I guess we'll be able to see. Oh no, I don't think it's this Friday. Actually, I think it's Monday. I think they're in Belgium or something, and he's appearing. But anyway, WrestleMania is gonna be lit, man.
That's what you have to look forward to.
I was just about to say, I didn't want to say that, but like, is WrestleMania next year the thing that's getting you through right now, Dev?
Yeah, man, dude, it's gonna be a great time. I mean, they're gonna have the same thing as the Super Bowl, like the media week.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure y'all will be there.
I hope so.
I would love to.
I hope so. I got to cover it a few years ago. I didn't get to go to the actual event, but I covered a lot of it around it, and it was very cool. It was crazy. That was like the Undertaker year, and seeing the Undertaker come out in the press conference when they announced it and everything. Just seeing like Triple H in person. It's kind of like when you did the thing with The Rock the other day. It's so weird to see these guys that you've grown up watching in real life in your city. And if the Super Bowl's any indication, I mean, New Orleans killed it, So here's to hoping they go back-to-back in terms of putting the best foot forward.
Yeah, and it's just like wrestling, man. There's so many wrestlers throughout the years, right? You kind of forget, like, about some wrestlers like from 20 years ago. Then you see and you're like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's this guy. And I feel like wrestling really like embodies that. You know what I'm saying? Just so many guys that you remember.
Bro, how pissed would you be if you were Cody Rhodes and Travis Scott burst your eardrum?
Yeah, it's something. I tell you what, though, I'm not even like a huge Travis Scott guy, but it's The Rock, bro. He even found a way to make him sellable. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like it fits as a bad guy. You know, like this rapper Travis Scott. You know, now he's on The Rock's team. He's selling merch. You know, it's one of the best moves WWE's done in a long time with the whole heel turn. It really is.
There he is, Devon Snow, a.k.a. Hold the Mayo, voice of the city. Had a great Mardi Gras, htmsports.com/shop. You can get all of your excellent Mardi Gras merch. I saw a lot of it down there in Disney. I was rocking my RB&R shirt. Dev, you're the man. Thank you so much for waking up with us this morning.
I appreciate it. Y'all take care.
Take care. Devon Snow, Hold the Mayo. Again, htmsports.com/shop. Get all of your merch. And go subscribe to the Hold the Mayo YouTube channel. That's where you can get all of the post-game shows and any live reactions, podcasts, all of it. Dev's just absolutely killing it. All right. When we get back here on Off the Bench, I'm a little intrigued to see where Tay-Tay's going to go with this, because it is time for another Tay-Tay NFL Story of the Day, and there's about 7,000 different storylines that he can play with here. So coming up next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Savor game day platters and snacks, plus drink specials at 1717 Kitchen and Cocktail. So come out for game day and let our team make you the MVP. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
At Atmos Energy, our Smart Choice solutions help customers save energy and emissions with rebates up to $500 off high-efficiency natural gas appliances, smart thermostats, and weatherization upgrades. Together, we're fueling our energy future.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold Refreshment.
Dave's back on.
Coors Light. Choose chill.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great.
Welcome in to the best morning sports-ish show around. Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. We are live here at U Club for the University High Golf Tournament. Shout out to the Cubs. Go U High indeed. Right now, though, it is time for a Tay-Tay NFL story of the day.
It's time for Tay-Tay's NFL story of the day. Your daily dose of NFL news from Taylor Sharp.
All right, guys, got a little twofer for you today. The first one, the Browns actually made a pretty significant move that's kind of under the radar right now. They have traded for Kenny Pickett. They gave up Dorian Thompson-Robinson and a 2025 fifth-round pick. Now, Pickett's obviously been a backup quarterback, but Deshaun Watson tore his Achilles once again that people kind of forget about. So Pickett's going to have a chance to start in Cleveland. Look, he was 15-10 as Pittsburgh's starting quarterback. 6 fourth-quarter comebacks, 7 game-winning drives with the Steelers. Not quite as bad as maybe most people remember. So, again, they only had to give up Dorian Thompson-Robinson and a fifth-round pick for a guy that could come in and start for an injured Deshaun Watson. And T-Bob, you were trolling me earlier about the Dallas Cowboys. Well, what do you say about this? They've done it. They got their running back, guys, Javonte Williams. They signed him to a 1-year, $3 million deal. The guy who's averaged less than 4 yards per carry in back-to-back seasons for the Denver Broncos will be toting the rock for the Dallas Cowboys.
God, Rome's going to let me hear it because I was sitting here juicing up Jerry, talking about how Jera had something up his sleeve, some big splashy move, and I don't know that Javonte Williams passes the sniff test there.
No.
Okay, other NFL stories that happened. Sam Darnold to Seattle. 3 years, $105 million, $55 guaranteed. And it's a bit weird, right, if you're a Seahawks fan, because you're like, hold on now. So we get rid of Metcalf, we cut Lockett, we trade Geno, and then we just get Geno kind of back, basically. But I don't know, Jake. I guess it makes a little bit of sense to me because, again, at time of signing, in terms of percentage of the cap, it's a significantly better deal than Derek Carr. It's slightly more affordable than somebody like Baker Mayfield, though I think Baker's more consistent and more proven. There's a lot more risk with Darnold. It's a way better deal than somebody like Daniel Jones. And so I'm like, okay, so in the end, the Seahawks get some draft picks. Yeah. They get younger at quarterback with a guy that's maybe basically even, but with potentially more upside than a Geno. So I don't hate it for Seattle, even if at first I was kind of questioning that.
I mean, Sam Darnold's still incredibly young.
Yeah, 27, which is really weird to think about for how long he's been in the league.
Yeah, there's a lot of quarterbacks that were drafted 2 years after him that he's still younger than. So, like, yeah, he came into the league extremely young into a bad situation, and so I don't hate the move. And like you said, you get some picks back, and, you know, Geno Smith, he threw for a lot of yards, but was he going to be that much better than what Sam Darnold can give you? Now, I know the weapons are going to look different because you trade DK to Pittsburgh there, but for him and for them, it's not, you know, it's not a deal that's going to tie them for 7 years or anything crazy like that. So a 3-year deal, a little bit over $50 million guaranteed for, again, a 27-year-old quarterback coming off his best year when he was given some actual weapons around him. And, you know, Jackson Smith and Jigba is somebody that you can build around him. I mean, he's not Jets, but you can certainly build around him, and he's going to be the number one now.
Maybe nobody's had a more exciting offseason up to this point than the Commanders. Why am I blanking? Who's the new weapon they brought in to pair with McLaurin? Big move. We talked about it last
Debo?
week. Yeah, they bring in Debo Samuel. So now all of a sudden you're investing in more weapons for Jaden Daniels. And more importantly, investing in protection for Jaden Daniels. As Washington sends 4 picks to Houston for Laramie Tunsil. They send this year's 3rd and 7th. They send a 2026 2nd and 4th. Of course, they already gave up a 5th round for Debo. So, again, like I said earlier, you might as well be giving boner pills to a GM when you have a great young quarterback like Jaden on a rookie contract. And they are down to clown whenever, wherever they're ready for action.
You send 4 picks, but you also get a really good player and a pick back. And so, like, if you said, okay, you give a 3rd, a 7th, and then next year a 2nd and a 4th, and you give up a 5th for this draft as well, in return you get Tunsil, you get Debo back, and a pick, I think you would take that every single time.
Well, especially because look, you're in win now mode.
Yeah.
And you're having to compete with the Philadelphia Eagles, who are appearing to get stronger and stronger every single season as the Cowboys and Giants look like they are kind of flailing, losing steam a little bit here.
Cowboys signed Solomon Thomas, I believe, there, Tay. So there you go.
Yeah. Isn't he the LSU O-line recruit? Solomon.
Different Solomon Thomas. This one, remember, he was the first-round pick that everybody loved so much and never did anything. Yeah. But Laramie Tunsil has done something. Made 3 consecutive Pro Bowls. So that's a huge addition. Like, Washington making Jaden Daniels feel very loved, very protected, and saying, look, man, we believe in you. We are going all in on you. J.C. Horn signs a 4-year, $100 million in. J.C. Horn, now the highest paid defensive back in NFL history. And what's kind of crazy about this is a guy that almost missed half the games of his first 3 seasons.
Yeah.
Now, last year he came on, played 98% of the snaps, so they're hoping that that's going to be the case going forward. But that's grats to J.C. Horn.
That's not going to stick long. I mean, as soon as Stingley gets his extension,
that'll be
he's
crazy.
Going to set the mark.
But I want to talk real quick about the Steelers here on the way out. I just saw the clock. I'll just say this. I think the Steelers should go with Aaron Rodgers over Russell Wilson. And I was out on Aaron Rodgers, but then I was thinking, like, okay, his numbers are actually better than Wilson, and he was with the Jets. And when you're talking about the Jets and the Steelers, you're talking about 2 franchises that are maybe more opposite than any other in the entire NFL. Like, you get DK. Don't know if you'll have Pickens or not, but, like, I actually, as out as I was on Rodgers, I think Rodgers and the Steelers makes the most sense in trying to maximize winning next season.
Yeah, I would choose him over Russ as well. And I bet you the guests that we have from 8 to 9 tomorrow would agree with everything you just said.
True. All right, when we get back, let's go ahead and wrap up today's show here at U Club for the UI Golf Tournament.
Off the bench.
Go to Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys, get Gordon, and get it done today. Follow him on social media at Get Gordon, where you see a lot of fake content with your favorite athletes, man, members of the G Team, as Gordon continues to support your favorite athletes that perform well in the court and represent themselves well. And you can see the Grubwood G Series sit-downs with all your favorite athletes and just a lot of great content on kind of life in general, how to protect yourself when you get in an accident. And the best way to do that is to call 225-888-8888 and get somebody who's going to fight for you and get you what you deserve. You can head over to getgordon.com, fill the console there, or, again, just call the number and get Gordon and get it done.
Yeah, like T-Bob said, it is throughout the state of Louisiana. See what they're doing in your community. At Get Gordon's always going to be the handle on all major social media, and then it is easy. Pick up the phone. It is your area code, followed by 888-8888. Get Gordon and get it done.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play. with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111.
Welcome back to the best morning sports show around. Sorta. It's Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Welcome back, OTB. We are here live at the Gerald Furman Memorial Golf Tournament for U High at U Club. And big thanks for being out here today. It's been a wonderful day thus far. Let's go ahead and do some Ask the Bench. Ask the Bench. Thoughts on the HBO Harry Potter series casting the 34-year-old black man as Professor Snape? Guys, I look, I got to be honest here. Well, first off, I think it, like, I love the actor's look. I think he looks good. But this is the thing that I always have to kind of laugh about when I remind people. Harry Potter's not real. And you could cast anyone as anyone. It doesn't matter. It's like people complaining about like black dwarves and Lord of the Rings. What are we talking about, guys? These are fantasy worlds. And you say, oh, well, Tim, you want to honor the source material? Okay, but that doesn't mean that they can or that he won't be a great Snape. And plus, if you want like the book accurate Severus Snape, you have that. You have Alan Rickman. Alan Rickman he was that. And so no, I love it. I think the casting for the show looks really good. I'm actually a bit more excited for the show than I was.
I've never seen any Harry Potter movie.
Ask the Bench. Favorite pro wrestling big man and favorite tag team.
Oh man. Oh, big man? Like,
I'm going Kevin Nash for my big man.
Oh, Diesel, Big Daddy Diesel. I go Razor Ramon.
And I'm going for tag team. I got a few. The Hardy Brothers were always at the top of my list. Yeah. The Dudley Bros are badass. Yeah. But sneaky one that was
Billy Gunn.
Sneaky one for me, Jake, was Billy Kidman and Rey Mysterio. Not like they only teamed up for a little while, but high flyers, a lot of flips. I was into it growing up.
That's a great. I mean, the Bushwhackers were great.
Favorite wrestling heel or bad guy ever? I don't know. I mean, whenever The Rock's bad, that's definitely always interesting. Guys, do want to remind you about Tommy's Windows Doors and Siding, GEAUXTommies.com, GEAUXTommies.com. You want Hardy Planger Vinyl Siding, Wood or Vinyl Windows. You want energy-efficient options that pay for themselves over time. Lifetime warranties. It's all there, your exterior home improvement experts. And by the way, as we're out here at the UI Golf Tour, we want to thank our presenting sponsor, Hollingsworth Richards Ford. Also, plenty here. Bloomsburg Associates, Holly Court Assisted Living, Superior Grill, CC's Coffee House, Open Season Property, Saunders and Childbearer Attorneys of Law, Billy Harriman's Flowers, Apothecary Pharmacy, Kading Frame and Art, College Drive Mini Storage, Lipsy's, Haspel, Baton Rouge Printing, Taylor Porter, Deep South Crane, ZZ's, Walk-Ons, Go Roof, Crescent Crown Distributing, Go Logo, Ricky Harriman's Florist Gifts, and Fred's in Tigerland. Thank you for continued support of U High, and thank you for supporting the show, guys, by listening and tuning in with us every day. We love you, and we'll see you tomorrow for more OTB.
Off the bench.
You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe. My whole team on wild.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972.